7 at Rogers Place. We will have coverage at 6 o'clock with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. They'll be on after the game as well with the postgame show. We expect the Oilers to go with the same lineup that won against the Blues on Saturday. McDavid between RNH and Hyman. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Henrique between Skinner and Janmark. Ryan centering Perry and Brown. Ek and Bush with Nurse and Stetcher with Kulak and Emerson on the back end. Stuart Skinner, your goaltender. Lifetime against the Lightning, 0-2 with a 5.22 goals against average and just a 778 save percentage. The Lightning, Point will center Guentzel and Kucherov. Paul between Hagel and Atkinson. Geeky with Goncalves and Chafee. Glendening with Gergensons and Asamont. Hedman and Radish, McDonough and Moser, Lilleberg and Perbix. Vasilevsky in net. 6-3 against the Oilers in his career with a 3.25 goals against average and a 905 save percentage. Last season, you may recall this game on December 14th at Rogers Place. The Lightning beat the Oilers 7-4. That ended the Oilers' 8-game winning streak. They would lose 2 more games after that, and then they would win 16 in a row. But in this game, the Oilers set a franchise record for shots on goal. They outshot the Lightning 57-24. That became a new record for shots on goal. Steve Stamkos, of course, no longer with the Lightning, had 4 goals in that game. Quick tee-up for tonight's game, which hopefully is going to be a good one. Reid Wilkins, Jason Milne with you until 6 o'clock. Milne, how's it going?
Lovely.
I hope so.
Yeah. Just lots going on behind the scenes here, and we'll have to discuss this openly.
Okay.
But there's
everything seems fine for me.
There's discussions going around that there might be an impromptu, well, maybe not impromptu, but a Christmas draft coming on Thursday.
Okay.
And we don't have categories. We don't have, topics. I just don't know. This is all coming together very fast. Well, no, it's not excuses. What are you, former Commissioner Wannick, chirping from the sidelines? Oh, yeah, host. Knock your socks off.
All right.
So, I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to see if the Nasties can maybe step up and provide some topics for the Christmas draft. Let's see. Let's see what Dusty said here.
Okay, sure. I am a little bit out of the loop here.
Christmas entertainment draft.
Christmas entertainment draft. Well, that could go a lot of different ways.
Things we do for entertainment over the holidays.
Well, that could be a lot of different things. I can think of a few things off the top of my head.
Well, okay.
I don't want to say anything, so it doesn't seem like I'm favoring anybody by giving information for the draft.
No, this is just topics. So, like there's probably 2 or 3 movies, songs, dishes, food dishes,
places to travel,
destinations. Sure, but I don't know if that falls into entertainment over the that would be very specific. Beverages, activities. We need some more.
Sure. Okay.
Already making excuses for a loss, says Iwanek. Oh boy.
I've never participated in a draft, so I'll leave this to you guys. But you see, you got very tense about it all of a sudden. You must put a lot of import on this.
No, it's just usually there's much more time to prepare. Would you want to take my seat?
Oh, possibly, yeah. I've never done one. We can see.
Why not? I mean, Dusty had YouTube Trev sit in for him last time.
Because Dusty missed a month of work?
Yeah, that was the first day.
Oh, really? Is that what it started?
I have a cough. I feel a cough coming on. I honestly think that there's time for, get some new voices on there. I mean, you are the host of the Reid Wilkins Show, which I'm so gracious to be a part of. I would be remiss if I didn't offer you an opportunity to sit as I was and am defending champ of the draft.
All right.
You don't seem like you want to do it.
Nope. No, I do want to do it. I want to talk about tonight's game.
Okay, fine.
Should be a good game. Lightning are doing well. I want to point this out as well. You know, we were talking about the Oilers special teams yesterday. In the last month, we went back to November 9th.
Yeah.
So the Oilers' power play is pretty good, 27.3%. You know what the Lightning's power play is in that span? 37.5%.
Wow.
The Oilers' PK, 89.3. The Lightning right up there as well, 86.7. Lightning leading the league in goals for per game in that span at almost 4.5. The Oilers are at 3.77. Goals against. Edmonton slightly. I'm just going back to last month since Edmonton kind of started playing better. Edmonton slightly better in goals against, 2.62, 2.82. I just think it's going to be a good matchup, good test for the Oilers. I think the Lightning look at it as a good test for them. They will not have Anthony Cirelli. They will not have Eric Chernak both out. The Oilers will scratch Travis Dermott.
That's a high power play number.
Yeah, it's there. Well, yeah, it's outstanding.
But
it's
you
almost
said
40%.
yesterday, when you were breaking it down, you said that other teams have been clipping along pretty well because overall in the league, what were they, fifth?
In that seventh in the last month.
Seventh?
Yeah, well, that's how power plays work, right? You have hot bursts. I think a 25% power play doesn't go 1 for 4 all year long. They're going to have 2 or 3 weeks where they might go 35% and then drop down to 18 for a span after that. No, the Lightning are good. They've been a good franchise, which we're going to talk about as we move along throughout this afternoon. They've been one of the better I would say they've been one of the better franchises in the NHL this century, quite frankly. I mean, they won a Stanley Cup. They, granted, dropped off, got some high draft picks like Stamkos and Hedman, and then came right back and won a couple more Stanley Cups and went to a final. So they're, to me, one of the I don't know if they're the best franchise in the NHL, but they're one of the best, I think, in terms of consistency and how they've built and being able to stay at or near the top for a long time. Again, they did have a lull where they didn't do well and got some picks that they have since built around. So, yeah, and I mean, that's who the Oilers are trying to become, a Stanley Cup challenger, every year contender, hopefully winner at some point. It's going to be a good game.
Well, I mean, the last 2 games that they've had here have been shootouts, so I would imagine there's going to be some goals scored. I mean, 2 teams clipping along like this.
Yeah, there's the potential for that.
You could see it both ways. You could see a real tight game.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do think that they're going to be worried about the other team's firepower, but even a tight checking game when you got teams with a lot of offensive players, sometimes there's still going to be chances generated. I mean, I'm interested. The one player, and this is going to sound kind of weird. We see the Oilers all the time. I'm really interested in watching Hagel play because he has really blossomed in Tampa Bay, and this year, outstanding. Made Team Canada for the Four Nations face-off. By the way, you were wondering what they get?
Yeah.
There's stuff coming out of there. They're going to get a trophy, and I think medals, and there will be cash, but they haven't determined yet. So you will get a little money if you win the Four Nations face-off.
That's funny.
You were very curious about that.
Yeah, and the cash almost makes it worse.
They were just playing for pride.
Pride.
Yeah.
Then that would probably make it real. They don't get cash from the Olympics. You may come out of that with some endorsements, sure, but I don't think NHL players need the cash.
Well, but if they're working, they should be paid, Jay.
I guess. So do they get paid for the Olympics?
I don't know, actually, if there was prize money in the Olympics. I don't think
there is. I would imagine they would get an allowance or a per diem, right?
The
Obviously.
IOC paid to ensure that they got on the NHL players in the Olympics at some point. But anyway, Four Nations face-off. They're going to get a little something, buddy, to take home. It's nice.
Well, I mean, what's it replacing? The All-Star game? And what was there, $1 million?
Yeah, the
cash?
Four Nations face-off is replacing the All-Star game this year, which is another thing we're going to talk about this afternoon, is they should get rid of the All-Star game, but that's not the topic. That's a offshoot that could be a consequence of the topic that we're going to get into. So, yeah, a lot of other things we want to dive into throughout the next 3 hours. You can get in touch, of course. You can text 780-218-9999. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you're in the Nasty Chat, you can talk with us and with others in the chat there, and please give us a thumbs up as well as we endeavor to get to at least 100 every show, and we try to break a new record for live thumbs up set last week when we got to 139. All right. We will have clips from Adam Henrique as we look into what's going on at after the Oilers had an optional morning skate today. You'll hear from Gary Bettman as well from the general managers meetings. And it is that time of year, Jay. So you were talking about the potential of a Christmas draft here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah.
It's Christmas concert season. Is that fair for school kids and parents of school-age kids?
Oh, yeah. This is the week, too, because this is the week before Christmas.
Okay.
So the week before Christmas is two people may be gone or may miss. The week before is now, and it's Christmas concert time, baby. So that means tonight, tomorrow night, back-to-back Christmas concerts for my daughters, which I do enjoy. I love seeing them. They prepare. They're proud of their work. It's a fun night. And I do appreciate in and out. You know, we don't need to be there for 2.5 hours.
Right.
Let's get this thing buttoned up in an hour. Everybody can go on
So
their
are
merry
these the
way.
kids perform Christmas-related skits? Or do they sing Christmas carols? Does it depend on the age?
Well, my youngest, Faith, who's in grade 3, has a speaking role. And here's I don't want to go off on a rant, though.
I think you should.
Okay, I will. So here's the problem. You can only bring you and 2 other people. 3 people per family can go to the concert.
So they're allowing for parents and maybe a sibling or a grandparent.
My
or something.
parents, I didn't even bother inviting them.
Is the gym that small? The auditorium that small? Are there
Well,
that many people in it?
It is what it is, I guess. But like, I don't know. So my wife had to take my mother-in-law to this afternoon's showing. They did a concert at 1.
Okay.
So that she could watch it. And then tonight, my wife is coming again with me and my oldest daughter to watch our
Okay,
youngest.
so they have more than one performance, though.
1 in the day, 1 at night.
And you could bring 3 people to either one.
Total.
Total. Oh, total.
No, well, per show.
Per show. Okay, so you get everybody there.
Not really. I mean, Gager was saying that there was some family of 8. I mean, kids are missing out.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The siblings need to, do they always want to see their siblings
Of course.
perform? They do?
Like my daughter, Grace, is choosing to miss her basketball game tomorrow night to see my daughter, Rose's performance.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause-
That's very nice.
It is. And that was all on her. She's like, I'd rather be with Rose and watch her.
Okay.
So I thought that was very, very kind. But yeah, and Kevin Van Dassel are saying my grandkids have their concert live stream. That would
that's
be great.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I don't know that they offer this, but it is what it is. You know, tonight is the one. It's the younger kids, so I think it's grades 1, 2, 3, like
Okay.
kindergarten 1, 2, 3, and that's the one where you could have, you know, the kid that won't stop waving, the kid that's screaming,
Right.
thinking he's singing or she's singing, the one that's just crying or super. You know, you get those
Yes.
funny moments out of this age group. So I'm looking forward to that. My daughter has a speaking role about Eid, the Islamic holiday.
Okay.
So that's her part. And then tomorrow night is going to be more of a storyteller's Christmas concert, where they kind of set up a story, I believe.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best. I hope you're excited about attending these.
You know, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. From Jay Milne and family. Well, I look forward to a review tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tonight's
I'll be honest
like
with the review.
honest, hard-hitting review.
I'll take some clips, yeah.
You know, little Jay in grade 1, I don't care if you're in grade 1. You got to make eye contact with your audience. None of this looking off stage to see what teacher's doing. You know.
Well, in my grade 6 class, I was the lead role. I was Santa, well, Saint Nick, they called him. But he got hit on the head, and he was dizzy, and they couldn't do Christmas activities. So they had to have him, they had to prescribe him medication. So in grade 6, I was already taking hard drugs to save Christmas.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, well, we look forward to that, and thanks, Calvin, for posting in the Nasty Chat. Also today, there was a special type of buzz around the EST Global HQ, mostly coming from our leader and mentor, Dustin Nielsen, host of the Nielsen Show, 6 to 9 p.m. every morning here on Edmonton Sports Talk, as Creed is coming to Edmonton. When is this, in August, Coop? I think it's in August.
August 19th on a Tuesday.
Okay.
On a Creed Tuesday.
So this was interesting for me because it's the first time I ever experienced this in person. Having known Dustin, professionally, and having seen his social media over the years, I was aware that he had something for Creed. And I always assumed it was sort of I like them, but I actually am only liking them to make fun of them. But I think he actually likes them, or has grown to like them over the years.
I think it started as a bit of a shot.
Like, I'll pick a favorite band that nobody has a favorite band. That's where he was coming from.
Right. And then it became something that he listened to so much that he began to like it.
It's like, hey, they're actually good.
Now, I mean, we talked about my jukebox before on the show. I have 2 Creed albums in the jukebox.
Oh, nice.
I mean, this was a band. This is a legit band that has some bangers. Let's not kid ourselves. They have some bangers. Would I consider them one of my top 10 bands of all time? No. But I asked Dustin this. I said, do you think they're going to sell out Rogers? He said they may just do it. Is there that much of a cult following for this band, or are we just in a snow globe of EST where it has controlled our lives for so long? Koob, what do you think?
Well, now, as of recent, in the last 6 months or so, it's became a meme now. So I'm seeing a lot of videos with the Creed songs behind it and some of the most popular ones. So people my age are now getting into the Creed world. It's a bit of a gag, but once you listen to the songs a little bit more, you're like, wait a second. They're actually pretty
Christian
good.
rock was so good.
Yeah.
So the headline from EdmontonJournal.com, Creed will take Rogers' place higher with August concert. And then the first line is, Edmonton rock fans will have arms wide open as they welcome Creed to Rogers' place in August. I might go to this. The opening acts are Big Wreck and Mammoth WVH.
I would go for Big Wreck.
Their album in loving memory of, very good album from the 90s. And you know who Mammoth WVH is? That's Wolfgang Van Halen. That's Eddie's son. Yeah.
The bass player.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if he does Van Halen songs or his own, because he has at least a couple of albums.
But I think it would be his own. He might sprinkle in a Van Halen.
I haven't looked at a set list for Mammoth WVH, but Mammoth was Van Halen's original name.
Right.
And then I think David Lee Roth was just like, hey, you guys should change that. You guys should just change it to brothers' names. That's a very bad David Lee Roth impression. But better than using my own voice.
You sounded like David Lee Roth in The Ice Cream Man. You know that song? I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by.
Double A in the Nasty Chat says, Saturday before the Grey Cup in the spirit of Edmonton, the cover band belted out Higher, the entire crowd singing along. It was something. All right, so Creed definitely has some hits. Their one album, what was it? Made of Clay. Something with the one with Clay in the title. What was it called? Oh, if Gager's not listening. The one with Clay in the title sold over 11 million in the States.
Human Clay.
So here we go for the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Tell us your most underappreciated band of all time. So I think Dustin would say, in the grand scheme of things, Creed is underappreciated. So give us your underappreciated band of all time. Not your favorite band, not even necessarily an underrated band, though it might fall into that category, but an underappreciated band of all time. A band that you've thought, man, they're good. Why don't they get more love? Why can't they tour, get, as part of nostalgia? Why aren't they still out there? Why don't people still talk about them? Or talk about them with more reverence. So 780-218-9999 in the Nasty Chat, your most underappreciated band of all time.
Off the top of my head, and this is gonna stun you.
Yeah.
April Wine.
That's probably a good argument.
April Wine, pretty much if there's an April Wine top greatest hits, you'd know every one of them.
So they're known. They're popular, but you think they should be even bigger.
I think they were deserving of bigger. Now, I didn't grow up in the glory years of April Wine.
Right.
But so maybe they did have their time and I just wasn't around for it. But I thought that's a great band. Right? Yes, Creed is Christian rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they started out as a Christian rock
Wasn't
band.
there a Christian rock band called Stryper in the early 80s when I was a lad?
Whiteheart?
I'm going to throw it. Oh, really? I don't remember them.
Petra?
I'm going to throw out a band here as underappreciated. And when I say this band, a certain song is going to come to mind. And this song is very cheesy and very juvenile. And this band has a lot better songs than this. And I'm going to throw out a band called Warrant. Now, everybody's thinking Cherry Pie, which is dripping with cheese and double entendre and makes you roll your eyes. But, their first album, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich, was a very good debut. The album Cherry Pie actually has some interesting stuff on it. And then they kind of weren't very out there very much. And they did an album called Dog Eat Dog, which is a lot heavier that I think is really good. And then they had an album, then there was another album that I didn't like as much. And then they did an album, I think, mid-90s called Belly to Belly that I think is really strong, and nobody knows about them. Hardly anybody knows about those later albums after Cherry Pie. And they have a lot more like mature, better-sounding rock than the anthemic Cherry Pie. So I'll throw a Warrant there.
Got a few coming in right off the hop, but we'll get to a break and we'll start accumulating these.
All right, keep everything coming in, folks. 780-218-9999. Christmas concerts, underappreciated rock bands. Tonight's showdown between the Lightning and the Oilers. We'll look into some storylines for that. We have Zachary Kubusch with a sports update.
We have the Oilers going against the Lightning with Tom Guentzel and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right here on EST. And there's 10 other games on the slate, including the Jets battling the Bruins, Devils meeting the Maple Leafs, and the Blues facing the Canucks, with Thatcher Demko making his season debut for Vancouver. And Summer McIntosh has been named Canada's top athlete of the year, winning the Northern Star Award. She wrapped up the year winning 3 gold medals at the Summer Olympics, picking up a silver in the competition as well. While in baseball, Yimi Garcia signed a 2-year extension with the Blue Jays worth a total of $15 million, while the NBA sees 2 games with Orlando on the road in Milwaukee, while OKC plays host to the Dallas Mavericks. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Boy, oh boy. People are jumping on this one. See, so the Wikipedia says Creed is an American rock band prominent in the post-grunge movement of the late 90s and early 2000s. It doesn't mention specifically that they are a Christian rock band. But was that not there's sort of, okay, yeah. They have a lot of themes of Christian theology, according to the band. But you're quite versed in the world, because the only band I named was Striper. Was that not a specifically Christian rock band?
I believe so. There's lots. I grew up in the church, right? So,
okay.
Like, you've heard of the band Switchfoot?
No.
Okay. They were Christian. Skillet?
No.
DC Talk?
No.
Jars of Clay?
Skillet is Christian?
Yes.
Wow.
POD?
So how heavy are we talking?
Heavy. Some of it's
Metallica,
heavy.
Megadeth, Bryan Adams,
Some
rock.
of it, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I would imagine now there's all sorts of Christian metal-like bands.
No, I'm not comparing them, Gager.
Delirious?
I'm saying on what end of the spectrum? Oh, okay. I thought he was. Okay, Gager understood. Gager understands how my mind works. All right. Well,
Newsboys?
The who?
The Newsboys. Oh, my gosh.
Was that a Christian rock band?
They were like a pop band.
So do they sing about partying?
Their messages are more based in Christianity and beliefs.
Right, but did they still sing about, falling in love and having your heart broken?
No.
A lot of the themes that rock has, but just more from a Christian angle.
Not really.
Okay. So it's not like, hey, so for example, Motley Crue would write a song about partying, and the theme would be, let's drink as much and do as many drugs as we can and have as have male-female relations as often as we can. And one of these bands might say, let's have a party and drink non-alcoholic punch and have nice conversations with women in the hope of meeting a wife.
Yeah, or maybe you did bad things and then you had to repent or ask for forgiveness. Stuff like that.
With an up-tempo, melodic beat,
yes.
Harmonies, big
With
hooks in
catch.
the chorus like Def Leppard.
Yeah. How did we get on this? This is...
Well, I'm learning.
You are. You're learning a lot. That's true.
We asked people for the most underrated band of all time, not specifically Christian rock band, as we're also getting you ready for the Oilers and the Lightning. Bolt from the Blue, that could be a Christian rock song.
That would be a good name. That would fit. Devo, this comes in from VR Montenegro.
Oh, yeah.
Devo is severely underappreciated.
Yeah.
Whip It is probably their worst song, yet is what they are known for. While that in the trademark Energy Dome hats. Mark Mothersbaugh is a musical genius and has composed for many movies, albums, and video games. Huh. He said, "What do you say, Spuds?" Am I Spuds?
I don't know. I guess one of us
Spuds
is.
McKenzie. Our Lady Peace, that came in from Joelle.
Oh, really? Okay.
I loved Our Lady Peace.
They were pretty big. They were quite big in their
Rob
in their
the
peak.
Plumber, Counting Crows.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's more the vibe we're going for. Like, they maybe had a couple of big hits, but kept churning out music, and some people were thinking, man, these are all pretty good. How come they're not getting more airplay?
Aiden O'Neill, this one's pretty deep. I like this. Supertramp and or Steely Dan.
Oh, yeah, see, those are good ones.
Steely Dan.
Yeah, those are good ones
yeah.
where people are saying, hey, I like these people.
Looney Len, let us know next time the Birds of Summer is going to an Oilers game in your seats. I owe you hats. Depeche Mode for sure. They're big with the alt crowd, but they were really good, and their front man was a rock star. Didn't Depeche Mode, didn't they have auditions or a tryout to become their new lead singer, or am I thinking a different band? It was a show. It was a TV show.
Well, didn't Queen do that?
But who's the Adam guy that won that? He won American Idol. Adam Lambert.
Who did he become the lead singer of?
I thought it was Depeche Mode.
No, I thought it was Queen.
Well, he is now.
Oh, he is now.
He is now.
Oh,
But
before that.
I thought he got. Somebody will know.
Mitchie says it was In Excess.
That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah. No, how their lead singer moved on. Not a Christian situation. Anyway.
Creed started out as a Christian rock band before they became famous. Kings of Leon is another Christian band.
Oh, are they really? I didn't know that.
Probably they could have got their roots from that. Not necessarily. What's Tommy? Tommy's in the
Tommy's
nasty
in the
chat.
nasty chat. Hello, Tom Gazzola.
What's
See you at the
Tommy's
game
favorite
tonight, buddy.
band?
The Killers.
The Killers. Mormons. They're all Mormons. Did you know
I
that?
thought they were from Vegas.
Yeah, they are.
Their lyrics.
Well, they grew up in the Mormon church. That doesn't necessarily mean they're Mormons now.
Oh,
per se.
okay. Well, the lead singer of what's that? Neon Trees, I believe, grew up Mormon. Boy, we are really all over the place. There is an Oilers game tonight, which we are going to talk about, but we do love our
the show is
side
called.
trips. It's like an open world video game. Like we were going to complete the mission, but there's all these little side quests that we can't.
What are those
help.
choose your own adventure books?
Yeah,
We're just skipping to
it's
page
like
39.
the latest God of War book.
The War says
God of War
Rockstar in excess.
That
was
was
the name
was
of the show.
All right.
And the guitarist was Dave Navarro. He was the host of the show because in excess that was his. He was a guitarist. So he was
Navarro wasn't in excess. Navarro's isn't he Jane's Addiction?
I think,
And then he did some other stuff.
I think they were
People who actually know a lot about music are horrified right now. How we're just throwing out. Yeah, wasn't he in this? Wasn't he in this? Who was Navarro with?
Yeah, sorry. He was the host of the show.
He was host of the show.
Sorry.
What bands has he been in?
He's got Jane's Addiction. He was briefly the Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist.
Right, he didn't last. Yeah,
When
okay.
the other guy had his issues.
All right. Mex Bezozu says, I love Neutral Milk Hotel. They're underrated unless you ask indie music nerds. See, and it's actually at the point here where people could just make up band names. Because if Neutral Milk Hotel, that's an incredible band name. Tom Gazzola, Navarro was part of a supergroup called Rockstar Supernova. All right. All right, what have we figured out here? Well, who's the most underappreciated band of all time? We'll try to name one by the end of the show. This is beautiful. I like having Tom Gazzola in the nasty chat as well. He's so cute. 780-218-9999.
Yeah, Jane's Addiction. So the opening song for Entourage,
Okay.
Superhero, that's by Jane's Addiction. Dave
really?
Navarro's the guitarist.
Okay.
There you go. Fun fact.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at the CanadianBrewhouse.com. And it is an Oilers game day. We mentioned Tom Gazzola in the nasty chat. He will host, along with Hernan Salas, the Oil Stream pregame show at 6 to set up the Oilers and the Lightning, which will be a main topic for us through the next afternoon, this afternoon as well. I have to thank Corey B. He knows the programming better than we do. Are we doing Mystery Athlete? Yes, we are. I usually give out a clue far sooner than almost 40 minutes into the show. So the Mystery Athlete of the game is presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. Join us on Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. for the late night happy hour specials Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. And, of course, you're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. So text submissions only. Maximum 3 guesses per person. 780-218-9999. I give a series of clues throughout the show. And the quicker somebody guesses, the better. So the first clue is fifth. That's it. You get, as people know who have been listening to these, I try to make them a little harder and more obscure. Well, the athletes aren't necessarily obscure, but the first clue after somebody got David Byborny on the first guess, I'd never want anybody to get it on the
really
first
soured
guess
you.
again.
That turned you into a different person.
I was already on the road to curmudgeonry, but that really put me on it.
Okay, so do I spell fifth or do I put it in numerically?
5th.
5th.
Yeah, I guess you can put it that way. It's fifth. It's not a trick. It's actually fifth.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's not like the guy's grade 2 teacher was Stuart Fifth in, Bridgewater on the Lake, England.
What if it was fifth, not fifth?
It's fifth.
I know. It says back to the eighth.
780-218-9999. All right. Oilers and Lightning coming up tonight at Rogers Place. The Lightning have been a great NHL franchise. How great exactly? We shall discuss. Here comes Zachary Kubusch.
The Oilers are back in action when they take on the Lightning, where you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, right here on EST. Elsewhere, the Avs meet the Penguins, Sharks play the Hurricanes, and the Kings battle the Islanders, having 11 games in the NHL. And out east, Yimi Garcia is re-upped with the Blue Jays on a 2-year deal worth a total of $15 million. And the NBA sees the Magic tip off against the Bucks, and the Mavericks going at it with the Thunder for just 2 games in the basketball slate. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep, where you could save big with their Black Friday sale. Get a queen-size Eurotop mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones slashed down to half price for only $3.99. Find great deals like this and more when you shop at Sit and Sleep. Find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Reid Wilkins Show returns just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Usually we don't give out incorrect guesses, at least not this early, for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. But you have one you wanted to get to, Jay?
I thought Rip City Steps' answer, although incorrect, was quite good in saying Beethoven, given that the first clue was fifth.
Fifth. It's also not Henry V that Mex Bezzozo guessed in the Nasty Chat.
And no, I don't even look at the Nasty Chat guesses. They have to come in through the text
They have
line.
to come in through the text box for sure.
Talking to you, Guy Flaming, who guessed Carey Price. 5th overall pick in 2005.
That actually would be a legitimate guess.
That's
but it's
2
not...
5s. 5th overall in 2005.
Oh, right. Yeah, but it's 5th, not 05. But I know what you're saying.
It's the 5th year of the 21st century.
I'll try to remember to give another clue by 4 o'clock. Hopefully, Corey B will remember. He's actually focused on what's happening on the show. 780-218-9999. Your most underappreciated band of all time is the off-topic topic. And again, our first clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game is 5th. If someone gets it, well, they'd have my admiration for all of eternity.
Rip City Steps' second guess, Beethoven the dog.
Oh, that's who I thought he was guessing.
I thought he was guessing Beethoven the composer.
Oh, I thought he was guessing the dog.
No, both are incorrect. 2 guesses.
Right. And this is not a fictional. Now, I could just say, well, it wouldn't be a fictional dog. Well, it could be. Rod Tidwell was a fictional athlete. Which was the one I went to right after somebody guessed David Viborny.
If you were listening, watching, hammer that thumbs up. We could get to 100 before 4 o'clock, Reid. We are on pace today.
Yeah, very good pace today. Thank you, Nasties, for sure. Thanks, everybody who tuned in. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Is it still snowing out there?
Yep.
Not good.
Not good.
Gross. It was gross driving in. Well, I mean, it wasn't. Could be worse, but it was kind of yucky driving in here this morning. What?
Sorry, I know you want to get some.
Did somebody win?
No, Guy Flaming said, sorry, I'm new here. I didn't know the rule. Underappreciated band, Blue Rodeo.
Yeah, they got a following.
That is a great pick.
They got a following for sure.
They're appreciated in Canada. Like the Tragically Hip are appreciated in Canada.
Yeah, well, Blue Rodeo's Canadian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the point.
How big did the Tragically Hip get in the States? I can't remember.
I don't.
Big on the East Coast, according to Gager. Okay. What about Europe? Do you know? He says, I don't think so. The Tragically Hip, unique story. Very unique. So the Tampa Bay Lightning are here tonight. So I just want to go back because I was mentioning that the Lightning have been a really, really good franchise. I would argue that they are one of the best NHL franchises, I'll say, this century. I mean, I guess you'd have Chicago up there with 3 cups. You'd have LA with a couple of cups up there. Pittsburgh has had a couple of different times that they have won. I mean, I guess Vegas in a shorter lifespan, you could say, has been pretty good. The Lightning won the cup back in 2004. They were still in the playoffs for a few years. They missed the playoffs in 8, 9, and 10. They went to the conference finals in 11, and then they missed the playoffs for 2 more years, oddly enough. So they missed the playoffs 5 out of 6 years, though the year they got in, they went to the conference final. Since 2014, here are the Lightning. They got swept in the first round by the Canadiens. In 2015, they went to the final, lost to Chicago. 2016, they lost the Eastern Conference Final in 7 to the Penguins. They did not make the playoffs in 17, though they did have 42 wins and 94 points. 2018, lose the conference finals. 2019, that was the 62-win season, but they got swept by the Blue Jackets, one of the biggest upsets of all time. Then they win the cup, they lose the cup final, and then the last 2 years, 98 points both seasons, so it's good teams, but they lose in the first round both years. So this has been a really strong franchise. I mean, you talk about teams that have an identity, well-managed, well-coached, consistency, longevity. Cooper's been there forever as the head coach. I mean, they've built. I know Stamkos left, but they kind of had, Stamkos, Hedman. I would say well, I guess you'd have to throw in Kucherov. But to me, if you said name the Lightning during this era when they've been really good, I would say Stamkos, Hedman, Vasilevsky, and Kucherov. If I just came to mind without looking back at all the rosters. I know some guys have been there through other parts of it as well. But the one thing, and this kind of bugged me a little bit, when they won the second cup, whoa, they're a dynasty. No, they aren't. If they would have won 3 in a row,
they could still become a dynasty.
They could still become a dynasty. I mean, then I don't know if it's going to happen. If they won the Stanley Cup this year, and then you're looking at 3 Stanley Cups.
3 in 5 years.
6 years. 3 in 6 years and another trip to the final. And then even if you extend that back a little further, like I said, trips back to 15, a trip to the Stanley Cup final, 2 other trips to the conference final. That's a really good decade.
You could say that is a dynasty.
You could say that that's a dynasty. Because I include, look, back-to-back championships are impressive. And them going to the final 3 years in a row is impressive. And I get it that we're probably not going to see a team win 5 Stanley Cups in a row like the Montreal Canadiens did.
No.
But it was a 6-team league, and you only had to win 2 playoff series in a year to win the Cup. Of course, winning was still difficult, but it's different. The Islanders won 4 in a row. The league was up to 21 teams. The Canadiens won 4 in a row in the late 70s. Obviously, the Oilers 5 and 7, very, very impressive. That's going to be hard to do. Not impossible, but very difficult to do. So if you start, I guess here's the thing. For me, for a team to enter into dynasty discussion, it's either 3 consecutive championships, or I would say probably a decade of multiple appearances in the championship series or game, along with several other deep playoff runs. So along those lines, okay, let's establish. You agree that we'll go back to the Islanders. Will you agree that the Islanders were a dynasty?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree that the Oilers 5 and 7 was a dynasty?
Who couldn't?
Right. Well, somebody could argue anything. Because they never won 3 in a row, but
do you know what the definition as per
sports, not per the Ming dynasty?
No. As per your friends over at Chat GPT,
my
team
goodness.
or individual that dominates their sport or league for an extended period of time. Now, it doesn't say a specific number of championships, but I think the number here is 3. 3 is what makes it something that's special, right? 2, that's why we're both saying
difficult, impressive,
but not dynasty worthy.
Right.
I mean, you look at the greatest dynasties in sports. The Chicago Bulls had 6 championships in 10 years in the 90s.
Well, 6 and 8, really.
6 and 8,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oilers, 5 and 7, you just said. 49ers had 5 Super Bowls over 13 years. Okay? But they had 2 different coaches and 2 different quarterbacks.
That's right. Montana and then Young.
Right? Golden State, 3 NBA championships in 4 years. That's impressive.
And then they got another one since, right?
Yeah.
And they were in the final. Weren't they in the final 5 years in a row?
I'd have to look. I'm not
pretty
exactly
sure. Yeah, because the Raptors beat them too, along with the one year the Cavs beat them.
That's right. Yes, that's right. The Patriots.
Okay, the Patriots.
What? The Patriots.
The Patriots probably are number 1.
6 in 15.
6 Super Bowls from 01 to 2018. They won 6 Super Bowls and went to 3 others, right?
Now there's somebody knocking on that Patriots door right now.
Okay, so here's part of this debate. Are the Kansas City Chiefs a dynasty?
Yes.
I say yes as well.
They've won 3 championships in 5 years. They appeared in 4 of them.
And they've been in the AFC Championship game the other 2 years. So they've gone to the league semifinal 6 years in a row, right?
Yes.
So I'm at the point where I'm comfortable calling that a dynasty.
If you can't, you're just not appreciating it, or you're just anti-Patrick Mahomes, anti-Travis Kelce.
Well, some people are, as we know.
Well, that's not. It doesn't separate your disdain for a team from the actual facts and the evidence. The evidence would suggest that, yes, Kansas City Chiefs, what we are watching right now is greatness. Whether you like it or not, whether you like that team or not, it doesn't matter. You cannot argue with the fact that they are a current dynasty.
Right. So I think we're witnessing one with the Chiefs, and we don't know how long it might go on.
Right. And now there are some saying that the Boston Celtics could be something that we are witnessing the start of that. Now,
yeah, maybe.
I just think there's too much parity and too much change and turnover in the NBA. But they're doing well.
I put the San Antonio Spurs up there They won 5 championships between 1999 and 2014 and were a consistently good team. So, I mean, that's, again, 15 years, 17 years for the Patriots, pretty much always being a contender. I think the Patriots might have missed the playoffs twice. And I mean, the year that Brady got hurt, they still went 11-5 and missed the playoffs. If it was the current format, they would have been in. So that's why we're sort of differentiating like really good teams that win back-to-back titles, or like Tampa Bay even go to the championship 3 years in a row. But I think you have to have won 3 titles either consecutively or in a relatively short period of time with other appearances in the final or close to it.
Here's a question for you. Is there different rules for different sports? Like, okay, let me give you an example. What era are we in right now with baseball? This is the money era. You can buy your team. The Dodgers just did it. Mets are trying to do it.
Well, they do have a cap, sort of.
Do they? I mean, really? So is that something that changes and skews the definition of a dynasty? Or per sport? I mean, you look at back-to-back NHL championships, that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Some say that the Stanley Cup is the hardest championship to win.
Right,
given the grueling playoff grind. Is there different rules for football as opposed to hockey or Major League Baseball or National Basketball Association?
I think in football, just off the top of my head, you might be able to decrease the size of the window. You know what I mean?
Okay, why?
Just because the careers are so short.
Sure. Okay.
And the NFL generally has a lot of parity.
Well, if you look at, that Patriots team, that is the penultimate dynasty.
Yes.
They had a lot of sustained roster players throughout that.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady was
starting
the quarterback.
with the quarterback, yes.
That made a big difference.
And
But
the
a lot
coach.
of the team stayed the same for not the whole time, but they had members and pieces that were in place during those. It was kind of separated into 2. They won 3 and 4 years, and then another 3 in the 11 years?
Yeah. Yeah, they actually, and that's the thing with them. They actually had a gap in the middle where they were always good, but didn't win another title. And then they really cemented it later in Brady's career. And then he himself went to Tampa Bay to win one more. The LA Dodgers, by the way, have won 2 of the last 5 World Series, and they have been to 4 of the last 8 World Series. They did not win in neither 17 nor 18. So they're, like, depending on what they do over the next 3 or 4 years, they're knocking on the door. I mean, we saw what the Yankees in the late 90s win 4 out of 5. What was it, 96, 98, 99, 2000, and then lost in 2001. So they were in the World Series again. You mentioned Golden State. The Lakers have had a couple. I mean, I guess you could say the Lakers in the 80s and then the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. Was that 2000, 2001, 2002? Won 3 in a row. So that would be in the discussion as well. And now that we're talking about this, I realize there are different lengths and ones that are more impressive than others. I mean, the Patriots is darn impressive. In a sport like football, where, like I was saying, there's a lot of parity in the NFL. They actually have a salary cap, though I know it's, hundreds of millions of dollars. But the way they structure the NFL is kind of anti-dynasty, right? And they were still able to do a year after year. That's probably the most impressive one that I have seen.
Somebody mentioned the Spurs of the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
I said the Spurs from 99 to 14. I agree with that human being for sure.
Yeah.
The Spurs were very impressive.
That was a strong team. That was David Robinson, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili.
Well, they had Duncan and
Tim Duncan and Dave, and
I think Robinson was gone by the end, but
the Admiral.
Yeah. I mean, people throwing out the S's under. Yeah, we're kind of sticking to about the last 25 to 30 years for sure. But obviously, the 5 in a row S's would. I mean, here's the thing: if the Blue Bombers win this year, are they a CFL dynasty?
That would be 3 and 6.
Would have been 3 and 5.
Well,
but now
they've
lost 3.
I thought you mean next year. Even if they win next year.
Oh, if they win next year,
sure.
Okay,
that is domination over a extended period of time.
Yeah.
That's 50% of the time they're winning the Grey Cup.
And
now
they were
it's a
in the,
9-team
and they were
league,
in the game, but still, they were in the game
that's
in the other
true.
years.
That
would
adds.
That would add to it. I mean, I know it's about championships, but
getting there means a lot.
Other strong years
Yes.
and getting there and just consistently knocking on the door. And that's why I would argue the Chiefs. Yes, there's the championships, but the years in which they didn't win the championship, they either lost the championship game or lost the AFC title game.
Yeah.
Jack says Tim Duncan was one of the best ever. Tim Duncan was indeed very good. Was he? Which one was left-handed? Was Robinson left-handed? I thought one of them was left-handed.
I don't think
that's. But again, random side quest. Collect the Spurs bonus for 15 experience. You like that, eh, Coop? While Jay is checking that, I will tell you that we are in the James H. Brown studio, James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com today, and book your private consultation. Was the Admiral left-handed? No.
Yes.
He was. I randomly remembered something. I get the bonus crystal.
That was David Robinson, not Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Robinson was left-handed, yes. Big Uke says the Oilers from 06 to 16 were a draft dynasty. Well, you could argue that. They drafted first in, 10, 11, 12, and 15? 4 times, what would that be, in 6 years? Not bad. Oh, Ginobili was left-handed as well. Was it Ginobili or Ginobili? Ginobili.
Let's give out clue number 2 before the break, yeah?
Yes, I actually did remember without Corey B telling us.
I just, he's always guessing, so he just wants to, he wants to know.
Did he ever win it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Corey's
okay.
won it once, I think.
Hudson's mystery athlete of the game, clue number 2, is Williams. So the first clue was 5th, and the second clue is Williams. Text only, okay? Text only. We have the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel coming up after the break.
There's 11 games around the NHL with Edmonton hosting Tampa Bay, having the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 6 right here on EST. Elsewhere, Utah plays Minnesota, Flames meet the Preds, and the Panthers battle the Kraken, while Thatcher Demko gets set to make his season debut for the Canucks. In baseball, the Blue Jays will pick 8th overall in next year's draft after entering the lottery with the 5th best odds to pick first. And they've also signed Yimi Garcia to a 2-year extension worth a total of $15 million. And there's just 2 games on tap in the NBA, seeing the Thunder tip off against the Mavericks and the Magic throw it down with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Well, hello, you beautiful nasties, along with Jay Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. We're with you until 6 o'clock. At that point, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas will take over with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, setting up the Oilers and the Lightning, who will face off at 7 o'clock tonight at Rogers Place. 2 games last year, both had a lot of goals. The Lightning won at home November 18th, 6-4. And then I was talking about that game last December 14th. The Lightning beat the Oilers 7-4, even though the Oilers outshot the Lightning 57-24, setting a new team record for shots on goal in a game. That ended the Oilers' 8-game winning streak. They would lose 2 more games after that, and then they would win 16 in a row. So flashing back almost a year to the last time the Lightning were here. Again, the projected lines tonight for the Oilers, very familiar. McDavid, at least recently. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman. Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Kapanen. Henrique, who you'll hear from in a minute here, with Skinner and Janmark. Ryan with Perry and Brown. Ekholm with Bouchard. Nurse with Stetcher. Kulak with Emerson, though we know Nurse and Kulak get a lot of time together as well. Skinner in net. Top line for the Lightning, Brayden Point, Jake Guentzel, and Nikita Kucherov. Top D pairing, Victor Hedman and Darren Radish, and Andrei Vasilevsky in net, who has a .905 save percentage in 9 career decisions against your Edmonton Oilers. All right, that's coming up tonight. Our off-topic topic is, I don't know if we got any more coming in, Jay. The off-topic topic, the most underappreciated band of all time. We're getting a lot of suggestions earlier. I saw somebody put Styx in there, I think. Styx opened for Def Leppard a few concerts ago with Larry Gowan as remember Gowan? Criminal Mind? Strange Animal? Those are the only 2 songs I can think of.
Rob the Plumber says, I love Skid Row, but they're more of a cult band nowadays.
Yeah, the Skid Row first 2 albums really good. They're still touring, but not with the lead singer, Sebastian Bach. I believe they have a new lead singer.
Geek says Headstones.
Oh, yeah. Smile and Wave's a great album.
Yes,
they probably have other great albums, but I remember getting Smile and Wave on CD.
Unnamed texture says Talking Heads.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Imagine Dragons comes in from Coach Mark. Also adds that they're Mormon.
Who is?
Imagine Dragons.
Oh, okay.
You know them.
Yeah, they did.
They did halftime.
Are they Radioactive?
Yes.
And it's
not literally, just a
they're
song.
Not literally Radioactive. It's Time is a song, I think.
Yep.
They have some catchy songs.
They do. The Old School Nasty says, my underappreciated band is Monster Truck. I don't know that you know.
I think somebody wrote them in the Nasty Chat as well.
I played you a song in the bullpen by Monster Truck one day to get us pumped up. And you're like, what is this?
It wasn't one of those country songs.
Nope. This is a
This was a let's get rocking.
Let's go.
Let's wake up.
Yes.
You know what song the Oilers are using for their intro video this year, for their skate out video? Okay, so they come out to enter Sandman, but the pump up video before they come up. And when I started doing Inside Sports, it was the song we played the clips over for the first couple of years I did the show. Live It Up by Airborne. Airborne's sort of a modern day AC/DC-ish type band. Like, let's party and rock and roll is the theme of most of their songs. Live It Up's a great, great song.
Why? Like, is "Live It Up" also a Kiss song?
Live It Up. No, Lick It Up.
Lick It Up.
Lick It Up is
Okay.
a Kiss song. Yes. The chorus is Lick It Up. Lick It Up.
Lick It Up.
Lick It Up. Whoa, yeah. Like, I wonder how they wrote that out. Like, hey, what do we? No, say Lick It Up one more time, Paul.
Say it again.
Yeah, Gene Simmons is like, I think we should say Lick It Up one more time. Okay, and then what after that? I don't know. Whoa, yeah? Okay, well, we'll stretch it out.
The Smalls, that comes in from Ken F. I don't know that. I don't know how well represented the punk genre is here. April Wine, Jack. I mentioned that off the
April
top.
Wine's getting some love.
Yeah. I think that they're just underappreciated. I mean,
They're
if you say
Canadian,
that,
right?
They are. But I'm serious. Like, if you put on the top 10 songs, you'd be like, oh, April Wine.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even know all their songs.
You would, though.
But I
You
would have
would.
heard them, right.
Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont.
He's still there, eh? Come inside, Scott.
This is Josie and the Pussycats, he says.
That's a made-up band.
I think that's from the Archie comics. Most underappreciated band. This is now, I think, the third time I've seen this. Alexis on Fire. Top 5 Canadian band.
Well, are they Canadian? I didn't
They
know
are.
that. Jasmine says, just tuning in, did this off-topic start because of the Nelly, Chingy, and Jarul concert that's coming? No, it started because of Creed, Jasmine. I don't even know if I said those names
You
right.
didn't. You said Jarul.
How do you say it?
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
But
I
she
said
spelled
I
it.
said Jarul.
Ja Rule.
Oh, Ja Rule.
She spelt it like Ja Rule.
How do you spell it?
Reed, you got a little Jarul on your face.
Oh, no. In my beard. All right, this is a good off-topic topic.
Blue
Keep 'em coming
Oyster Cult. Who's that? Is that you, Zach?
That's me. Yeah.
Wow.
ZK in the Nasty
UFO
Chat.
and Deep Purple.
Deep Purple. Jeez, deep cuts.
780-218-9999. The two clues so far in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. What are the two clues? Oh, yeah, I got them written down. Fifth and Williams. Fifth and Williams. Okay?
Sounds like a destination in New York.
Anyone?
Yeah, it's just down there over on Fifth
it's
and
over
Williams.
on Fifth and Williams. We're going to the jewelers.
Jodes, this is...
that's who's coming.
That's why this
That's the
was
concert.
started.
Yeah, Creed, Big Wreck, and Mammoth WVH coming to Rogers Place. What is it, August 19th? Is Dustin going to go? Has he ever been to a concert?
He's hoping that somebody thinks of him this holiday season.
Oh, and gets the tickets. Because the
maybe-
tickets go on sale in a couple of days, I think.
That's right.
Well, nobody's here is going to buy him the tickets. It better be Tammy.
Whoa. Wow. I didn't know this. Did you know that the bass player for the Smalls is country music star Corb Lund?
I did not know that.
And I don't think Corb Lund is necessarily a country music star. He's Albertan.
I was going to say he's from Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
So who's from Alberta? Him?
George Canyon?
Grant? What's the, is it not Paul Grant? What's the guy's name?
Paul Brandt?
Paul Brandt.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
George Canyon?
Katie Lang.
Katie Lang?
The other guy. Breakfast Beer is his song. I interviewed him.
Brett Kissel?
Yes, Brett Kissel. I should have said Brett because I interviewed him several times.
You're thinking of Gord Bamford.
Bamford.
Gord Bamford from Bashaw.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
from Bashaw. Is he actually from Bashaw?
Oh, my God. Reed.
People must be horrible. Did somebody get the mystery athlete?
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. Who got it?
I think so.
Let me see it. I'll pull over and look. Where is it? No, that's not it.
Okay.
Don't you have the name?
I thought that was the name.
I thought I gave you the name. I better write it down for you. Write it down.
Jeez.
That is... Well, I got all excited. Hope nobody can see on YouTube the reflection of my glasses. What I'm right there. That's very poorly scribbled.
Ken F. says he did a documentary on the Smalls. They're amazing, and Corb Lund is a legend.
So are they from Alberta?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
We need to know more about this documentary. What's it called? Where can we watch it?
Oh, I don't know nearly enough about the Smalls. Formed in Edmonton in 89. Mike Caldwell, Corb Lund, Doug Bevins, and Terry Johnson. They met while attending Grant MacEwan College, as it was known at the time. This is off Wikipedia, of course. We should try to get somebody from this band on the show. After the bass player Corb Lund has since carried on with Corb Lund and the Hurtin' Albertans. All right, yeah. So Corb Lund is the only individual that has a page of his own on Wikipedia. This is fun. We're learning a lot about music today.
Haji says, Imagine Dragons lead singer Dan Reynolds and bass guitar Wayne Sermon are actually ex-Mormon. A lot of their music revolves around this, including Radioactive. And then he chimed in and said, Weird Al is also very underrated.
Weird Al is underappreciated. He's more talented than he gets credit for. All right.
Waddy and Cloverdale, underappreciated band. Whale and the Wolf, especially when the technical issues at EST.
That's true. Chief Andy says everyone in the office should get Dusty a bottle of cough medicine as a gift for Christmas. Oh, my goodness. All right. That's a good one, Chief Andy. 780-218-9999. We'll give it another clue for the mystery athlete of the game in a few minutes. We got to transition into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right. You know there's a game at 7. You know we got our coverage at 6 o'clock. And we got the Oilers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Very good team, very good franchise. Here is Oilers center Adam Henrique.
Good. I think it's come along. I think
Sorry, can we play the one on Tampa Bay, Coob, number 1 if you can, first. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, high-end talent over there, so you have to be prepared for that at all times. I think no matter who's on the ice, you have to know who you're out there against and be prepared for that. You know, they sometimes take chances or really try to push the pace, but have that skill level to take over a game at any time.
All right, I think that's a good summary of what to expect from the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll go to number 2 clip in a second here, Coob. That's the next one I'm going to throw to. I talked about the Lightning power play. So in the last month, the Lightning power play is at 37.5%, best in the NHL during that span. The Oilers' PK in that same time frame is best in the NHL at 89.3%. So that's a good matchup tonight. Here's Henrique on the Oilers' PK, doing a great job.
I think just the small details in it, and then the work within that, I think, too. So I think we've had some pairs going together for a while now, which can help. You know, have that chemistry on the penalty kill and talking and being familiar with what we're thinking in each situation, really, because that's key for us. I think when we're on the same page and really moving, or we know. You know where the other guy is, even though if you're not able to see them. So I think establishing that pressure, holding our line, just the details of how we want to kill have been a lot better as of late, and I think that is due to being familiar with each other in our pairs.
All right, yeah, the PK much better. I mean, they were kind of getting sliced up with cross-ice passes earlier in the season. I think Henrique there touched on having some pairs of forwards. I think a couple defensemen have had to get more into the swing of killing penalties. Better goaltending as the season has gone on as well. So that's added up to a much, much better PK, looking almost as good as it did through most of the playoffs in the spring and into the summer, which is another thing we're going to talk about. Not the PK, having hockey in the summer. And Henrique also was asked to comment on his game of late.
Good. I think it's come along. I think the last few weeks trying to be more of a threat offensively, is a priority. I think sometimes it can play a little bit too defensive. It can take away from that offensive side of the puck. But just having that confidence in my own game to go out there and attack and play.
All right, Adam Henrique does have 4 assists in the last 7 games. He hasn't scored for a bit. He's last scored on November 16th against Toronto. But I would put him in the category of one of several players who started the season quite slowly and now appears to be looking a little bit like his former self. Henrique's had a great career, Jay. I mean, I was thrilled when the Oilers got him last season because I thought that is exactly what they need. That type of player, all-around guy, responsible player, smart player. I mean, he's pretty much a shoo-in for 20 goals or darn near close pretty much his entire career. I mean, early in his career, he didn't quite get there, had a 16-goal season, one with Anaheim where he just got to 18. Last year between the Oilers and Ducks, he got to 24 goals. So what are you looking at? Do you need the name?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You're all good.
It's like, did somebody win?
No.
Okay.
And he's been quite efficient in the faceoff dot this year.
Yeah, very good.
Right? So he's filling in where he can.
So I think this is one reason why now we're seeing the Oilers having gone 9-3-1 in their last 13 games. Now, big test against the Lightning tonight.
Well, as a team, they're second in the league in faceoff win percentage, 54.5. It's pretty impressive.
Well, and do you have all the individual faceoff stats there?
Well, Leon's at 57.9. Derek Ryan's at 62.4.
He's still that high.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Corey Perry, 57. Skinner, 57. Nuge, 55. Henrique, 53.
So Connor's having an off
48.
year. Yeah, which, I mean, Connor and Leon became the two best face-off guys. Now, Nuge doesn't take as many, but that's good for him.
I don't know the last time that has been that high. Generally, the Oilers have had struggles.
Well, for a long time, they were a bad face-off team. I mean, I don't know. Face-offs in some ways might be a little bit of an overrated stat, but there are situations, special teams, late in games, where they're a little more critical.
Well, it leads to the potential for possession.
Right.
That you cannot diminish.
But Draisaitl and Draisaitl and McDavid were not good when younger.
That's right.
And they got better as you get crafty and you know the linesman and you get stronger. And Draisaitl's obviously would be one of the strongest centers in the league. But yeah, a bit of an off year for McDavid. It's a little surprising. But
should start doing something.
Yeah, maybe score more.
I mean, hey, they're first in the league in shots on goal. Right?
Which is what Knobloch has been emphasizing. Well, not just the shots on goal, the shot attempts and the chances created and all that kind of stuff, which I know we've had discussions about, and some people are tired of hearing about it, which I understand. 780-218-9999. If you are on YouTube in the Nasty Chat, give us a thumbs up there. Encourage people who might be watching as well to give one, too, as we try to get to 100. We're already on a great pace, maybe even to get to a new record today. We'll talk about a little bit about summer hockey based on something Gary Bettman said earlier today. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
It's the Oilers and Lightning with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, only on EST. And there's 10 other games on slate with the Jets battling the Bruins, Devils meeting the Maple Leafs, and the Blues facing the Canucks, having Thatcher Demko make his season debut in Vancouver. In the MLB, the Yankees and Max Fried have agreed to an 8-year deal worth $218 million, pending a physical for the deal to go through, while the Jays have re-signed Yimi Garcia to a 2-year, $15 million contract extension. The NBA sees 2 games with Orlando on the road in Milwaukee, while the OKC Thunder play host to the Dallas Mavericks. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. We have a quick timeout before the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues on. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
I'm running in circles with the hopes that I will find what I'm searching for, but the question is
All right, good to have you tuning in today. I just want to ask for, I know we ask a lot of you. Number one, tolerate me. Difficult enough. We want you to thumbs up and give us the likes because we view this as we are still building Edmonton Sports Talk. It's still relatively new. It's still relatively new on the Edmonton sports landscape. It does involve a bunch of people who were with other AM radio stations for good chunks of their careers. And everybody's listening is like, hey, Reid, yeah, like we know you guys. We know the guys from 1260. We might have heard you on Ched. We know Jay's the glue guy, and he's jumped on board. Kub's a new guy and all this kind of stuff. But not everybody knows that. My parents ran into somebody they knew on the weekend, and they said, where's your son? Like, did he move? And they said, no, he's on Edmonton Sports Talk. And the person who was a big sports fan didn't know of Edmonton Sports Talk. And then when my parents explained it to him, he was very interested and maybe even is listening right now. So that's why we say give us a thumbs up, tell people about it, subscribe, encourage other people to subscribe on YouTube as well. If you're using one of the apps, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, it might take 10 seconds, but it won't take much longer. And somebody says, how do I listen to that station? Show them. Like I've showed people in line at the bakery. Hey, here's how you can listen. That's all you. And they were like, well, what else do I have to do? Do I got to pay? No, you click this and it starts playing. It's just your phone instead of a radio or a car radio. So give us a hand. That's all I'm saying. If you enjoy the content, and again, if you hate the content, tell people you hate to listen to us.
Yeah, we're equal opportunity.
Chief Andy says Knobloch's theory on hitting is flawed. No team has the puck 100% of the time. You still have to throw some checks when the puck is not in your possession. The best teams throw hits, not euphemisms. First of all, Chief Andy, bonus points for use of the word euphemisms. Have an extra pint of beer on me tonight. I think Chief Andy, I think Knobloch knows that you don't have the puck 100% of the time. That's kind of an analytics thing. Well, if you never get hit, if you never have to throw a hit, you have the puck all the time. I think he's aware that's impossible. I do think Chief Andy, and I don't know if you were listening yesterday when we were talking about this, I do think the Oilers are not as physical or as bullyish a team as they have been in a couple of recent seasons. I think, not having Kane is a reason for that. I think to some extent not having Fogle is a reason for that, though he wasn't a big hitter, but he was a big body that could grind. And I think, and I don't know if you were listening, Chief Andy, when I was talking about this yesterday, I do think McDavid and Draisaitl are not throwing as many hits as they have in the past. And I wonder if that's a conscious decision by them. That they know it's important, but they also know you don't have to throw. And some people might not like this attitude, and I accept that, but maybe they're thinking, okay, I don't have to finish every single check on November 10th or December 10th or whatever the date is. There is the 9th or 10th. You know what I'm saying? Right?
I don't think they should have to. Right? It's an added bonus. They're both capable of it. But if they're not, and your team's winning and they're scoring goals, that's a win-win-win.
Right.
And they shouldn't be the guys that are stepping up. But like I said yesterday, Connor, his game has gotten more aggressive, it seems. Not necessarily throwing the body around, but wrangling pucks, taking pucks off people, working the wall. I mean, it just seems like he is really stubborn to play with, especially along those boards, those half walls. He's winning those battles.
Epiphany says, do you think they had a conversation with management regarding you get hurt, the team is toast, so don't hit stuff? That's a good question. I don't know if that would ever be... It's too bad Gager just left. And maybe we'll have to ask Luke Gazdick this the next time we have him on. I don't know if a manager or a coach would ever say, don't body check. You know? I assume everybody, most people out there are in the workplace or have been. Maybe we have some students listening in. But you know how sometimes there are conversations in the workplace, like maybe you're explicitly getting in crap, you know? And you're pulled into the office and said, I saw you give that customer the finger after they left the store. Don't do that again. Okay. But I think more conversations in the workplace, and I'll include the hockey rink in the workplace, or more along the lines of, hey Jay, like this guy wanted to. He seemed like he really wanted to buy that couch, and I thought I had him, and then all of a sudden he walked out. Yeah, Reid. Well, you know, I saw he was interested. Have you ever thought about maybe if a guy's interested, just introduce yourself and let him know you're there and kind of see where he goes. You don't need to, maybe try. So you wouldn't maybe tell your sales guy, hey, dude, like back off. You're too horny for the sale. But you might have a conversation. Oh, you know what? I saw you do this. Here's another tactic you can employ.
100%.
So maybe you're around the NHL with managers or coaches or in dressing rooms. It's like, yeah, I played with Crosby a few years ago. And I noticed, he's an intense guy, but I noticed some nights he just gave it a little more. There were certain centers he really wanted to wear down, or he really wanted to maybe tell the league, hey, I'm ready. Okay, it's there. So this is just sort of my theory. I think I have some evidence to back it up. Big Slam Nasty says, counter argument, you see 97 and 29 throwing hits. There's no excuse as a bottom six player to not finish your hits. Yeah, fair enough. But I think there's no excuse as a bottom six player to not finish your hits anyway. But I understand what Big Slam Nasty is saying. I don't know. I just kind of read Chief Andy's thing there, and it got me thinking about this and what we were talking about yesterday. But I don't think a coach would. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think in the dressing room, too, what everybody's role is. Like, do you want Connor diving in front of every shot to block? Block shots are important. Stuff like that is important.
Yeah, not for Connor McDavid.
But do you want them to treat every shot and every potential hit in every single game the same in November and December? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I like that counter argument from Big Slam Nasty.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
That puts a lot of onus on the Derek Ryans, the Corey Perrys of the world.
But he's saying if the big guys hit, then the low end guys can't throw a no-hitter.
Well, and you wouldn't think that would have to be proclaimed throughout the locker room.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just don't think if they don't have to, then don't. But that doesn't, the physicality part of it isn't just laying the shoulder or making a hit.
Well, and that's the thing. Somebody wrote, Jack wrote, the NHL is becoming more skill than contact. I think yes, but I would put onto that, Jack. Hockey's still an incredibly physical game. And there may not be Scott Stevens, I'm going to line you up and drill you at center ice because you get suspended if you do that, right? Or a penalty. I mean, even the Reeves hit on Nurse, like when I was a kid, go back to 1988, that's a long time ago, everybody blames Nurse for that hit, right? So that has changed. I still think hockey's very physical. And again, I think puck protection and board battles and all that type of stuff is a level of physicality that's very important and shouldn't be underestimated. So Connor's still physical that way. He can get on the puck. He can get on your stick and take the puck away. Okay, here's a question for you, Jay. Do you consider Zach Hyman a physical player?
No.
See, I do. Because I think he's physical in terms of occupying space, occupying the front of the net, battling for pucks, and holding on to pucks. Now, that might be different than Evander Kane's physicality, but that's how I consider. So maybe we're splitting hairs in terms of the definition.
Then I would say to you, I consider Leon Draisaitl to be much more physical in that respect than Zach Hyman right now.
Yes, but Leon hasn't really gone out there and taken an angry run at anybody.
I guess when Zach Hyman is at his best, when he's 53 or however many goals it ended up last year, that version of Zach Hyman, yes, he is occupying that space.
Right.
That hasn't been consistent this year, though. Now, we saw a little tiny glimpse of it on Saturday night. Maybe that gets the ball rolling. Because, yes, when he is in control of that net front presence, that is a form of physicality, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and was it yesterday when we were talking about Desharnais, was it you or somebody that said that they didn't think Desharnais actually delivered that many big hits?
He
Fair
just
enough,
enveloped.
but he just enveloped and got in the way and blocked shots. So, no, it's an interesting discussion. To go back to Chief Andy's first comment, yeah, I think Knobloch's being somewhat deflective when he makes that sort of a comment. I think he recognizes that hitting and physicality is part of the game. But maybe we're seeing. I mean, look, we don't know what's going to happen down the road. We don't know where their season is going to go. But maybe, I mean, I know there's a lot of, well, they're not that good, but maybe this is a team that understands better than ever after last year what has to happen in the playoffs.
Yes.
And maybe they think, okay, if we can find a way to have 2 to 5% more in the tank when it comes to the postseason, I don't know.
Look back to what Connor McDavid said throughout the preseason. Was that this was a different philosophy for him off season, that the Stanley Cup's not won in September and October, right? So maybe that's carrying forward. He said that, so maybe that's affecting or changing the way he plays.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Oilers and Lightning coming up at 7 o'clock. I better do clue number 3, I guess. Clue number 3 in the
Don't need it.
We got a winner? My goodness. When did it come in?
You were on a roll, so I didn't want to say anything. This came in at 4:25. So here's who it's not, because there were several people.
Did I only give
this.
out 2 clues?
You did.
Okay.
You gave out Fifth and Williams, and there were several guesses of Carlos Sainz.
Incorrect.
He finished 5th in Formula 1 this season and moved from Mercedes to Williams. So although
it is
correct,
a driver.
It's not the right one.
So the rest of the clues were cyclist, France, and Senna, which should give it away. Who got it?
So Alican, first-time texter.
First time
His
ever
first
texting the show,
text
or is Edmonton Sports Talk.
To Edmonton Sport Talks was
Alain Prost.
There you go.
Great driver of the 80s and early 90s. He's 5th all-time in Formula 1 wins with 51. Williams was the final of the 4 teams he drove for. Cyclist, he got heavily into cycling after his auto racing career ended. He's from France, and he had a rivalry with the late Ayrton Senna.
Wow. So, Zach, he's in the EST inbox as just a phone number. But if you could get in touch with Ali Can, that would be great. Congrats.
Ali Can. Not Alley Cat.
No, Alley Can.
Alley Can. Kicking the can down the alley, perhaps.
That was interesting. I clicked on his message and I thought, and we were in the midst of discussion, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay.
But Alain Prost with a question mark.
Well, you don't have to, you can put a question mark on the end if you want. That was a good one. I was inspired to do an F1 one today because Gauger, so the season ended, what was Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember when the race was.
Yeah, this was the last weekend.
This was the last weekend, and Gauger came in quite happy today. He was he playing "We Are the Champions" on his little mini speaker?
He had the trophy.
I didn't realize were you in this pool?
No. Okay. I don't know anything about F1.
Well, you know that it's auto racing.
Hand up. Yes, I do.
It's car racing.
They drive left to right, depending how you're looking at it.
That's NASCAR. They turn both ways in F1 because F1's not always an oval, right?
F1 drives left to right. It just depends what angle.
Oh, it depends what angle you're looking at it. Okay, good stuff.
I know a bit. I did watch the Vegas race. Truth be told, Sunday mornings when if we're up early, that race that comes on, and it's usually Sunday morning super early. It usually ends by 8:30 or 9.
Right.
Girls will watch that and be glued to it.
Oh, really?
They love auto racing.
Most of what I know these days is because of Gauger. I mean, I always know who the big names are, but I haven't followed it. I don't sit and watch, but
I've never got into it where I could have a fantasy team or say choose your driver.
Yeah, but there's only 20. How many drivers are there? 26.
Well, that's where I think this requires a lot of skill because you need to get those late points. Or the driver that finishes 18th.
Oh yeah, the top 5 or 6 are probably
20th,
pretty obvious.
15th.
Yeah.
But
all right, Ali Can is the winner. Hudson's Canada's Pub. Mystery athlete of the game today is Alain Prost. I used to watch F1 late 80s, and he was my favorite driver. I don't know why I picked him. Probably because I smoked McLaren. Weren't they the cigarette company?
You smoked?
No, I didn't. That's a joke.
Oh. I didn't picture you as a smoker, Reid.
No, I was not. All right, 780-218-9999. You can participate with us and mostly with each other in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. And if you are there, flick the thumbs up. Encourage your friends to do so as well. We are almost at 100 already for this show. We will take a quick timeout. I want to get to something Gary Bettman said today.
The Oilers are in action when they take on the Lightning, where you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, right here on EST. Elsewhere, the Avs meet the Penguins, Sharks play the Hurricanes, and the Kings battle the Islanders, having 11 games in the NHL. And out east, Max Fried and the Yankees have agreed to an 8-year deal, with both sides awaiting a physical for the $218 million contract to go through. And in Toronto, Yimi Garcia is re-upped with the Jays on a 2-year deal worth a total of $15 million. While on the court, the Magic tip off against the Bucks and the Mavericks go at it with the Thunder. The Reid Wilkins Show returns just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Gunn's take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Gunn's today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right
Every time. Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Oilers and Lightning coming up at 7 o'clock at Rogers Place. We will have coverage at 6 with the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, and they'll be on after the game as well to break it down as the Oilers try to sweep this 3-game homestand, taking on the Lightning, who roll into town without, well, he was on the road trip, but Cirelli injured in Vancouver. Lightning are 14-9-2. The Oilers very close to the same record, 15-10-2. So the Oilers do have 2 more points. They have also played 2 more games. McDavid, the Oilers' leading scorer with 37 points. Draisaitl has 36. For the Lightning, Kucherov has 37 points. Hagel has 31. They have a bunch of guys, 4 guys with points in the 20s, though, as we said, Cirelli not going to play this evening. So quick notes for the game tonight. Skinner against Vasilevsky. In goal, 780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Continue to give us a thumbs up if you have not already. As Chief Andy said, Jay doesn't have the fullest head of hair, but I would still go to Tommy Guns for a cut. Your hair is pretty beautiful.
What the hell's that all about? What did I do to you, Chief Andy?
He put a big smiley face. He's being funny.
It is actually funny enough. I do go to Tommy Guns.
Yeah.
That is my place. That is how we kind of got them involved as a partner on the Oil Stream.
Yeah.
Is because I know the manager at the Sherwood Park location.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it worked out well.
I think I have a bald spot, but you can't see it.
Well,
I don't know. You can see it. Do I? I think my hair is definitely receding. Like I feel like it used to start closer to my eyes. Am I a little bald on top? I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's a bald spot. I think you just many men of our age, your age, that it just starts thinning a bit. This is how I've been since I was 25.
Really? Your hair just is kind of that way?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there aren't like some guys.
Chief Andy was saying that because I voiced the commercial.
Yeah, because you're voicing the commercial. Oh, I thought you realized that too. But
sorry, Chief.
No,
I didn't mean to come at you.
He was joking around, and he's good. And I like Andy's. He's got a lot of good. Like that text he wrote earlier. Like I like stuff that you can discuss.
Yes.
You know, like he has an idea, and then we can kind of talk about it. Charlie says, "Hey Reid, were you at the IndyCar race at the Edmonton City Center Airport in 2005?" I was not.
I was.
You were.
I was.
Maybe he's got us confused.
I was at the Red Bull tent. They had a Red Bull event going on there.
Okay.
And that was back. I don't know if I was still bartending or I just finished bartending, like that in that time of my life. But one of the managers, a fellow I used to play football with, Kevin Wong, he knew the rep from Red Bull through the bars. So he's like, yeah, come on down. It'll be fun. I've never been as buzzed from Red Bull as I was. I was sweating.
I have never had a Red Bull.
It's, I don't, that's probably the only time I've had consumed an energy drink like that.
Okay.
But no, I'm not a big consumer of energy drinks either.
I covered the Edmonton Indy a couple of times when I was at Ched. In 2005, I was still living and working in Lloyd. And what I found interesting was you don't watch the race live. You go into a media tent and watch various TV feeds. So it's kind of weird.
It would
it's like
be
you're
hard
there,
to
but you're
report
not
on it if you're not.
Well, you got to
can't
see
the whole-
everything,
yeah.
right? So you can't be, because when you buy a seat to a race, you generally only see one portion of the track.
That's right.
Right.
Unless it's NASCAR, because I mean,
It's an oval.
You could see the whole track,
Right.
Except for that one race where they make other turns.
All right, 780-218-9999. Congratulations to, what was it, Ali Khan, who identified Elaine Prost as the mystery athlete of the game after just two guesses. We are in the, or after just two clues, I should say. James H. Brown Studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. So the GM, governor meetings, whatever they're called, going on for the National Hockey League. So Gary Bettman answered some questions today, and he was kind of asked about trying to give out the Stanley Cup in May or shortening the length of the season. Here's what Mr. Bettman had to say.
If we started in August, which I'm not recommending, we could maybe finish in May. But you can only squeeze it so much, and we respect the compression of the schedule, particularly when you take breaks for Four Nations or the World Cup or the Olympics. So you just can't say, okay, it would be great to finish in May. Well, you can't just do that unless there's a consequence on the other side.
I know you said it.
All right. So, yeah, we can cut it there, Zach. All right. So there's Gary Bettman, who, quite frankly, is one of my most favorite people I've ever interviewed. You know why? Because he makes you work. You better have a question that he will answer. Because Gary, and this is the reason he's paid several millions of dollars by the National Hockey League owners, he is one of those, I'm controlling the message. Like, if Gary Bettman and Jay Milne were alone in a house, and Jay was in the living room, and Bettman was in the kitchen, and Jay heard a whole bunch of glass break, and he went into the kitchen, and Bettman was standing there, and there's like 10 shattered glasses on the floor, and Jay said, Gary, did you break the glasses? Gary would be able to convince you maybe he didn't break the glasses. Well, clearly there's been some glass breakage, but I'm not sure, so he's going to control the message. And, I think I interviewed him 4 times one-on-one. When he was there during the Stanley Cup final, he kind of made a joke about that I was making a Miss Shania because she was performing. So he showed a little bit of personality there. But he's always trying to control the interview, right?
Well, he is a lawyer.
He is, and he's good at what he does. I mean, he's been 30 years on the job. So, look, what he said there, well, if we want to end in May, would have to start in August. That's him controlling the message. Everybody, that's a load of crap. Okay? That is Bettman BS. And I generally think he's been a good commissioner, but like I'm saying, he controls the message. So he's always going to spin it, give it the angle. Oh, well, here's why how many years was, we'll figure it out in Arizona. And then all of a sudden, we're going to Utah. He's always like, oh, we'll figure out Arizona. We'll figure out Arizona. Well, we got a committed owner. We'll get to the rink situation. Oh, that 5,000-seat rink is temporary. Don't worry about it. We'll get them a rink in Utah, okay? So, but that stood out to me because I asked him about the length of the season and games in June when I interviewed him during the Stanley Cup final, and he basically gave sort of that same answer, just that it's hard, man. It's hard to schedule games. It's hard to schedule games. There's other leagues, man. They have fans too. What are we going to do? Some of these buildings, they got basketball teams, man. You can't play basketball and hockey at the same time. They got concerts, man. You can't just have hockey whenever you want, Reid. Come on, man. It's not exactly how he sounded.
If there was there should be a category for impersonation of the year.
For incorrect impersonations of Gary Bettman.
Oh, boy.
So buying or selling, giving the Stanley Cup out by the end of May at the latest. For Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors, he and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Now, let me say this. I think that everybody is going to buy on giving the Stanley Cup out by the end of May. But what I'm going to explain is that this is possible without starting the season in August. Now, there would be sacrifices, though. Okay? So here's the Reid Wilkins proposal. Little old Reid Wilkins from Evansburg.
Don't say little old.
His proposal for Max Bezzozu. Bettman sounded like Bill Paxton all of a sudden. From True Lies, specifically, or sorry, Mex. I always say Max, it's Mex. All right, so here's how you can do this. You still have training camp September 15th. Okay? Start preseason games the 19th or the 20th. You only play 4. Don't play 6 or 8. You end the preseason September 27th or 28th. You start the regular season October 1st. None of this October 9th, October 10th stuff. Start it October 1st. Get it going, okay? Don't play 8 preseason games. A lot of teams play 6. The Oilers play 8. Play 4, okay? Start the season October 1st. Every team, now I'm rounding off here, but I'll give an example. Every team plays 14 games in October. That's over 31 games, or 31 days. They play 14 games in November, slightly more compressed because there's 30 days in November. In December, you have the time off for Christmas, play 13 games. January, play 14. February, shorter month, you play 13. March, you're back to 31 days, you play 14. There's your 82 games. The regular season is done March 31st. You can start the playoffs April 3rd. You can have the Stanley Cup given out by May 31st.
Boom!
You don't have to play games in August, everybody, despite what Mr. Bettman is telling you.
Well, although that sounds lovely,
thank you.
There's one major component of the season that's missing. The All-Star game.
Okay.
Now,
I have sacrificed it.
Reid, I'm with you. I think it's useless, to be quite honest. And I wonder if you put it to the players. If the players would say, yeah, let's go. Keep it going. We're in a groove. We're in a roll. And just keep moving so that they can have that cup ending by the end of May. I bet you they'd be on board with that. Why wouldn't they? Right? Wrap up the season sooner. You wouldn't be wrapping up the regular seasons any sooner. Right? You'd just be more efficient. But here's the thing. They're never going to let go of that game.
No, and now they want the window to have players go to the Olympics or have a Four Nations face-off.
Well, that's fine. Have the Olympics one every 4 years. Every 4 years, it goes back and resorts back to, okay, we're going to have the longer
play till June 15th.
Play till the mid-June.
But here's the thing. So the Oilers played Game 7 on June 24th, and I've said this numerous times. I said it on Chet. I've said it on this station. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final was after the summer equinox. The days were getting shorter again. This year, I was looking at the key dates that June 23rd would be Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Again, the days are getting shorter if it goes the distance. Matthew Iwanek made a good point that you should only go into June for Games 5, 6, and 7. And maybe even with my format of starting the playoffs April 3rd, so the first round would take until, say, the 16th. It's okay.
Yeah, but it's wrapped up in the first week of June. Maybe slightly into the second week.
No, first week.
Right? I mean, it's done. It's over. Because you got to, the Oilers were in the Stanley Cup Finals last year.
Right.
That was a long haul. That was a lot of time put in by fans. Above and beyond. I mean, I don't think they'd openly be disgruntled about it.
Sorry, MB says summer solstice. I guess the equinox is the fall and the spring. I like being corrected on stuff like that. Thank you.
Yes.
It's the solstice. It's the equinox, I think, in March and September when the days are equal.
Yeah, summer,
the daylight, and
winter, December 21st. June.
Those are the solstice. The solstice eye.
Solstice eye. But yeah, here's the problem, though. This league is all about one thing.
Well, yeah, it's all about money, right?
Money.
I mean, why did the NFL go to 17?
Yeah. Why are they playing more preseason games? It's not to identify their talent. That's a load of crap.
For hockey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sell more gates. More revenue.
That's the thing. They're not paying the players in the preseason, too. I just,
the All-Star game used to be something. It used to be, you'd have the skills comp and then you'd have a game.
Well, the 3-on-3 I actually like better. You don't like it, eh?
No, I don't like they're trying to pass it off as something that means anything. It is useless. It is utterly useless. For God's sake, Reid, they were shooting pucks at surfboards.
Oh, that was weird.
Like, what are we doing?
Yes.
This is a joke. People are laughing about this.
I just wonder, and here's the thing. Bettman could easily come out and be like, well, we've heard that May 31st is a better end date, so now we're going to do that. He's spinning it the way he wants to spin it today.
The Players Association would have to fight tooth and nail for it. That's the only way that would change.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. And even the owners wouldn't like that because guess what? They're getting a cut of the profits from this.
And here's another thing. Well, like 82, how did it was 84 for a while. Like when I was a kid, it was 80. Then it was 84, and then now it's 82. Like, why is it 82? Why is it 41 home and away? But now, it should be 80. It should be 80. But the owners are never going to give up an extra home game now.
Why would they?
It's not perfect. I don't expect it to be perfect. I respect making a schedule is difficult. I respect that there are a bunch of owners in football-heavy markets, which is most of the United States, who don't want a lot of home games on Sundays and or when the NFL is going on. I get all that. All those things are obstacles. But it's not impossible to end the season earlier, and you would not have to start in August. And I don't know, maybe fans would prefer that. Maybe fans would prefer training camp last week of August, start the regular season after Labor Day.
That's a tough sell.
That wouldn't happen.
No.
But I don't know why they can't start October 1st instead of the second week October.
Well, they can. That's not.
And there have been years they've started earlier in October.
They clearly can.
Yeah, well, they could do whatever they want.
To.
It's still a major sports league.
Yeah.
Being not the NFL is not carte blanche to be like, well, we can't do what we want. No, you can do what you want. You can have a Four Nations face-off. They're doing it. Anyway, and here's another thing. How many people, now we're talking to Edmonton sports fans, so we're assuming the large majority of our audience cheers for the Oilers. How many people were watching the Stanley Cup final in June if it didn't involve the Oilers last year?
Nobody.
Making sure you watch the game. Maybe if you're in the house, it's on. Maybe Game 7, you're like, okay, I'm going to watch Game 7. But sitting down to make a point of watching every game on June 15th or whatever some of the earlier games in the series were.
Very few.
Probably very few.
I mean, I guess this would be different for you then and now me. I mean, you're going to be watching those, or at least actively tuned in.
Right.
Yeah, it'll never change. It was a great idea, though. Maybe you should be the new commissioner of the NHL.
Well, I think there are some areas in which I could advise Gary.
Be an advisor.
And he could politely dismiss me.
Reid, did you see what our dearest Summer McIntosh did today?
What was it, Athlete of the Year?
Well, she won 3 gold medals in the first Canadian to win 3 gold medals. She captured the women's 400-meter freestyle in world record time in Budapest.
Amazing.
World record holder. Summer McIntosh.
How old is she?
She's young. 18?
Is she 18 now?
Yeah. Man.
Is she not already one of our most decorated Olympians?
I think she is our most decorated Olympian.
Why do we use the word decorated? It's not like we're pinning streamers on them.
Yeah. Do we dress them
up? Most
accomplished? And she won the Northern Star. Canada's Athlete of the Year.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Big day.
Chief Andy says, I'd rather exhibition games be cut out than the All-Star break. I would agree with that. Jack is talking expansion, which could happen someday for sure. Yeah, he mentioned a European division. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, quite frankly. I know why Jack would bring that up. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but that's an interesting thing to consider.
We are one away, Reid.
Oh, someone give us a thumb.
Someone give us a thumb.
Or text your spouse to give us a thumb.
I want to hunt for this record.
All right, 780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. We'll talk more buying or selling for Damon Bunting, and we have a top 3 about terrible food. All coming up.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
There's 11 games in the NHL with Edmonton hosting Tampa Bay, having the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 6 right here on EST. And in just a moment, 4 games get underway with the Flyers battling the Blue Jackets, the Maple Leafs against the Devils, and the Avs meeting with the Pens. Out in baseball, the Jays have traded for Andres Jimenez and Nick Sandlin in exchange for Spencer Horwitz, while the Yankees and Max Fried have agreed to an 8-year deal worth $218 million, pending a physical for the contract to be confirmed. Just 2 games on the NBA slate, seeing the Thunder tip off against the Mavericks and the Magic throw it down with the Bucks. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Oilers home to the Lightning tonight. Then they will play on the road against the Minnesota Wild on Thursday, and then a 5-game homestand leading into Christmas, as the Oilers have won 5 of their last 6, and as we've been talking about, 9-3-1 in their last 13 games, starting to play better than they did for about that first month of the season. Thank you, Nasties. We are well over 100 thumbs now on YouTube, so keep pushing. We'll try to set a new show record over the last 51 minutes of the program. At 6 o'clock, we hand the stream over to Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. I'll be heading over to the rink to watch the game. Jay, you have Christmas concert?
I'll be headed to the Christmas concert to take it in and report live. There'll be lots of live tweeting, live streaming.
Live stream the concert.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Les says, in my opinion, Bettman wants his legacy to be selling the game to big USA markets for greater TV revenue. Could you argue he's already done that?
I could say it, and if he did that, if he grows it bigger, then he's doing a great job as commissioner of the league.
Well, and that's
his job.
This is the thing, and people don't like to hear this, but they know it's true. Gary Bettman's job is not to represent the fans.
No.
It is to represent the owners.
100%. Unlike the commissioner here, that's why he was replaced, Commissioner Matthew Owanek. He did not represent his owners, which were the individual teams, units.
Right.
That's why he was banned.
For the draft stuff.
Now he hosts. Commissioner Quinn respects the thoughts and opinions of all the drafting teams, of which you will be filling in for me.
Apparently I am. What time do I have to be here? Thursday at 9?
Starts
Thursday at 9 a.m.
a.m., not p.m.
It's not an SC's TV show. They all started Thursday at 9 p.m.
You know what I watched the other day? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Good film.
I just caught the clips of it.
Very good film.
Haji says, as to your Bettman impersonation, my response is... Where is it here? Well, hang on.
Well,
here's his response.
It was not good.
You suck.
No, it was not good.
He did say boo.
Well, it wasn't even an impression. I just got riffing
I thought
on
it was. I thought it was great, man. How about have the All-Star game after the season in June?
Yeah, the players would never do that. Once they're done, they're done. They ain't coming back for an All-Star game.
They're shutting down.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everybody wants to end earlier. I enjoy the beautiful weather and patios, etc. What a great way to kick off the start of summer. That comes in from Old School Nasty.
Yeah, fair comment. I just feel like the consensus would be for most fans and try and end it a little earlier. But having said that, if your team is in it, you're along for the ride. You're invested.
Well, it was interesting. I mean, they did the hangout of the year was on an Oilers game day from Matt and Tom's patio downtown. A beautiful sunny day downtown. What was it? Plus 22. You know, that is something to be said about it. It just, it can interfere into, well, not interfere. I guess that's the wrong word. But it just takes a long time. It could be shortened. That's all. Sully, once the NFL goes to Europe, the rest will follow.
Good point. Now, having said that, who broke ground in Vegas? That was the NHL, baby. I don't know if there'd ever be Major League Baseball in Europe. NFL, NBA, NHL, I could see it. I don't think there'd ever be baseball there.
No. Reid, I'd have a hard I have a hard time thinking that the NFL will be there.
Yeah, do they need...
and that's just the arrogance of the NFL. Oh, we have to go over there and make sure we dominate there. Who cares? What's the problem with dominating North America? They dominate North America.
Yeah, and people in Europe watch the NFL, and they play, 3 games? Well, the Jaguars always play a couple games over there.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to take over. It's like soccer does not work here as well as it does in Europe.
Well, and would they take over? If the NFL had a team in London, would it be like, okay, great, you're after all the EPL teams that are here?
But why one team? Like, you'd have to form a division.
No, you'd have to have a
over
division.
There, right? And do they have that? And what's the need for this? I don't get it. Why does all these brands want to grow globally? Oh, wait, money.
Well, money, yes. Thank you for clarifying, Jay Milne. The big Uke. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Haji says that boo was a compliment.
Oh, because Bettman always gets booed.
Well done.
That's
well
true.
done, Haji.
That's a good, nice reference for sure. The big Uke with his limerick. Tonight at Rogers, the Lightning are in town. In 04, the puck was in and Flames fans frown. Creed coming in. Oh, that's a win. Now which small band will take the crown? Yes, our off-topic topic for William Huff. Most what was our word? Underappreciated band of all time. I think April Wine's the winner, if we had to give a winner.
I think it's been pretty close. Chief Andy says, got to give it up to Zachary. He's the most assiduous producer EST has.
I don't know what that word means.
Zach, do you know what assiduous means?
I do not. But
showing great care and perseverance.
Oh, nice.
That's a compliment.
That's a great thing.
Wow.
That's a great one for me.
Wow.
Too big for my brain.
I'm glad. That's another thing I appreciate. And by the way, yes, Zachary, you're wonderful and improving every day, which I admire. I love it.
I admire.
I
you
love
too.
it when people use proper grammar or introduce us to new words.
It's beautiful.
I absolutely love that.
It's beautiful.
If there's a way to make me smile, that's a way to do it.
Well, you and I have talked about this for a while. Maybe we should spill the bean a bit here, or the beans. We
Just
would like
one
to
bean.
have, at some point, some sort of a word of the day. Or word of the
Oh,
week.
yeah, I would
where,
do something like that.
You know, or we could take a word that maybe is not commonly referred to or used, or a word that's
And it's not, and thrice is not an over the head type of word. I don't think it's one of those, oh, look at me, I used a fancy word. It's not a pretentious word. Thrice.
The word pretentious is almost somewhat pretentious to use.
It is. It's a pretentious usage word.
But I love discovering new words.
Yeah, so do I. Well, and using them properly. Sometimes when I'm reading a book, if there's a word I don't know, I'll look it up, but then I usually forget what it is.
Well, you have to, because it usually has a direct meaning. If it's some, especially if it's used in the context of description or what is a word that you think? What is a word that has stumped you for the longest, where you couldn't get it? You couldn't. I've got one that I know.
What do you mean I couldn't get it?
Well, it just took you the longest time to fully understand and appreciate it. Like Tommy
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
Because when I first heard magnanimous, I thought it had a negative connotation. But it actually means, so the meaning is generous or forgiving, especially toward a rival or less powerful person. When I first heard magnanimous and how somebody used it, I thought they meant it was almost like, oh, they were mean or condescending to them, but it means the exact opposite. Because it almost sounds like a bit of an evil word, doesn't it? I'm magnanimous.
When I think of magnanimous, I think of the Big Uke.
He's a big molten mound of a man. Molten magma mound of a man.
Tommy always uses the word minutia.
Right.
And I still wouldn't be confident enough to use that word in a public setting or on this show. I don't know.
I would use that.
Causes me to slip up. Go ahead, use it.
All right, 780-218-9999 into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. People are starting to put some words in there. I don't know how many of those we'll get to as well. Continue to give us the thumbs up or get people to give us the thumbs up as well, as we are camped out in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Oilers and Lightning coming up at 7 o'clock. I think this is a good matchup for the Oilers. I do think they've been building their game quite a bit. I use the word detail a lot. And what I mean is taking that extra stride to get into the right position, taking that extra split second to make sure you're back checking and actually tying up a guy and getting into the right spot, getting the puck out at your blue line, making smart passes, being precise, playing with intensity, all those types of things. And I think the Oilers have been better at doing that. And, and the Lightning are a team, we talk about culture and consistency, they do that almost all the time. So I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, for some reason, I just think it's going to be one or two ways. It's either going to be run and gun shootout or a 2-1 game, or, a 2-1 with an empty, 3-1 empty netter, Just these teams play
I think
tight.
it's going to be a competitive game. I think it'll be a close game. I don't know what the score is going to be. I don't have a feel for that tonight. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Brayden Point starting to fire it up.
He's a very good player.
Mm-hmm. Kucherov's on fire lately.
He's a very good player as well.
Dusty was saying he's rather slow in terms of speed, skating speed.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a burner, but he makes plays. He sees the ice well. He's got a good shot, can pass.
Ro Nelson, is it just me, or could the big Christmas ball placement be a little better and not on top of Reid and Jay's heads?
No. I don't know. Yes, if you're on YouTube. Well, they're not directly above us. Well, depending on how we're sitting.
Amish Man 19 says, I'm surprised Jay is willing to get into all of the minutia that he is.
That's pretty good.
Uh-huh. I would love to learn a new word every day, or discover a new word.
Well, we can try to do that.
Sure.
And use proper grammar and all that kind of fun stuff.
Should use your connection at the Edmonton Public Library to get this, maybe they can get involved, become a partner.
Send in a grammatist?
Yeah.
What do you call somebody? Well, probably a linguist, I guess. Somebody who studies grammar. Probably would be a linguist.
Makes me think of linguini.
New word of the day, symmetrical. Yes, the Christmas balls are symmetrical. There's one on each side.
Well, technically, not really, but they are somewhat.
All right. Do we have any more feedback on, well, anything, but specifically on shortening the season, shortening the time played of the season, ending it earlier, all that kind of stuff?
Why not play this comes in from Oilers Ford. Why not play All-Star game during preseason? None of those players need to be playing in preseason anyways. Mr. Bleach, sorry.
Yeah. I guess because they want to reward players who have had a good season to that point. And it's sort of, I think the NHL looks at it, it's in February. They do it after the Super Bowl, so it's a weekend where you're not competing against the NFL, and it's something to draw attention to the NFL in sort of the dog days of the season. I think in the preseason, players are getting ready for the season. They'd probably even be less enthusiastic to play in an all-star game. And I think that at the start of the season, you have the hype of the start of the season. So they don't need to add an all-star game to that. I think that's why they sort of leave it where it is, just past the halfway point.
Fair point.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Jimbo says regulatory has a nice flavor to it.
Yes, regulatory.
Sarah says, use proper grammar. Riedrich, I'm swooning.
Oh, well, thank you. That's nice to hear.
And Ro Nelson says, purported Christmas ball placement.
Purported. That's a good word. That's fun to say, purported.
Purported.
I wonder how many people would miss the All-Star game. How many fans? The NHL would miss the money and the marketing opportunities.
How many fans
would miss the
All-Star game? The only people
game.
that care about it are the people that are in the city that it's located at. That's it.
Yeah, that's where it gets the most attention.
Right? I mean, the numbers, I'll Google the TV ratings.
I'm
for
probably
the
more
All-Star
interested
game.
in some of the skills than I am the actual All-Star game. Though I do like the 3-on-3 a little bit better. It's changed it up a bit. Now, I'm more interested in the Four Nations face-off than I am in an All-Star game.
See, this was from the Sports Business Journal. The NHL All-Star Game viewership was down 7% from last year.
Okay, well, not.
And if you look 17, 18, 19, 20, these are just ones that came up. Went from 2.2 million to 2 million to 1.7 to 1.6. So, fair to say it's trending in the wrong way.
So now they're going to have a Four Nations face-off.
Well, maybe this is the kickstart they think they need.
Could be. All right, we are going to kickstart your palate, perhaps in the wrong direction, when we get back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
It's the Oilers and the Lightning with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right here on EST. And there's 4 active games in the NHL right now with the Blue Jackets trailing the Flyers 1-0 midway through the first. The Hurricanes up 1-0 on the Sharks just over 5 minutes into that one. The Maple Leafs, Devils, and Penguins Avalanche are all scoreless early in the first period. And according to ESPN's Jeff Passan, the Jays have traded for Andreas Jimenez from the Guardians. Elsewhere, the Yankees and Max Fried have agreed to an 8-year deal worth $218 million, with both sides waiting for the results of a physical for the signing to be confirmed. The NBA sees just 2 games with Orlando on the road in Milwaukee, while OKC plays host to the Dallas Mavericks. Reid's Top 3 just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Thanks a lot for checking out the show. We're counting you down to an Oilers game at 7. We'll have the pregame show, Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan coming up at 6. We are very close. We're within striking distance of a new show record for thumbs, which was last Tuesday. So Tuesdays are good for thumbs. I encourage, if you haven't done it yourself, do it. Don't delay the pleasure any longer. And remind others, hey, go check out this show and give them a thumbs up. We will be forever grateful. 780-218-9999 is how you send us a message on the EST inbox. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. That's how the Big Uke sends in his limericks as the Oilers and Lightning set to square off tonight. What are you grinning about? What are you all happy?
I'm just thinking about your top 3. I just am so happy.
Oh, we're doing it now.
Well, yeah, you have to. I mean,
this
might take the rest of the show. We might even not talk about it.
Well, this will get people involved too, I think.
We've
had very good audience involvement today.
You are going to want to smash the thumbs up more.
So, the top 3 is presented by Food Sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount, 10% off your order by entering online code EST or mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in the store. They have free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. So here it is, my top 3 worst foods to bring to a Christmas party. So I'm thinking of the office Christmas party. It's a potluck, and you're bringing food. So just something you shouldn't bring, or if somebody brought it, you would be, why would they bring that? Or even if there's a sign-up sheet, you'd think, maybe I should go tell that person that they should bring something else. Now, I went a couple different ways with this, and Jay has some of his own, and I'm sure we're going to get people participating or have a story about a gross food that they shouldn't have brought in. So, but the first thing I started thinking about, the first thing on my list is a food that I think a lot of people like eating, and they even think is fun to eat. But I started thinking about why you shouldn't bring this to a Christmas party. Because first of all, it would involve bringing several different components. The meat would have to be brought, in a crock pot or something, right? You'd have to bring shells. You'd have to bring sour cream and cheese and maybe some salsa at the very least.
Guac.
Maybe some guac. So that's all stuff you have to lay out. And it's tacos. Now, yes, tacos delicious. And I realize there are places, that might have a taco station or something like that. But I just think at an office Christmas party where maybe you're gathering over lunch or taking a couple hours in the afternoon and people are standing, and do you want a food you have to assemble at least partially by hand and that has things that could fall out of it and maybe just make it uncomfortable to eat or leave stains or get on your shirt or something like that? Like, I would think if when we had our EST thing, if somebody said, hey, I'm going to bring tacos, I would think to myself, why? I don't want to stand there and assemble a taco and then walk around with a taco and have it going who knows where.
Just so much involved. It's just too much. You don't want that.
No,
at
the
your
best
Christmas
things
party.
at a Christmas party are things you
Grab
walk
and go,
up to
baby.
and grab.
Grab and go.
Or even your stuff, your dip. Okay, I spoon some
you
dip
spoon
on my
a
plate.
dip
Or
onto
you
your-
could just take one chip and spoon it in your crock pot and go.
Yes.
But tacos, it just feels...
And then you got all the little spoons, and then all the little condiments are falling
Yes,
all
and
over the
people
floor.
are not served.
The taco
Yeah,
station looks awful.
Right, it's
So
a mess. In
it's
one way or
unappealing.
another, there's going to be a mess. Even if everybody eats it cleanly, eats their tacos cleanly, the taco area is going to be a mess. And that person is probably the person who brought the tacos will probably then ask for help. Oh, hey, can someone help me put this away? No, you brought it. Everybody else is just putting saran wrap on their thing or throwing it out or it's eaten. Even if the tacos get eaten, there's going to be ground beef stuck inside the crock pot. There's going to be some sour cream left, like something.
Well, and then there's going to be ground beef in the sour in the sour cream.
Yes, see, and who wants to be one
And
of
you're
the
gonna have
last ones getting
cross-contamination.
Who wants to be the last one getting a taco?
Exactly.
Oh, there's salts. The sour cream is now a combination of salsa and
Because
beef
one
and
idiot's
cheese.
going to go straight from the beef right
Spills
to the
all
sour
over.
cream,
Yeah.
and then it's over. It's a mess. It's a mess.
So that's why I'm putting the popular food of tacos on a bad food to bring to a Christmas party.
When you first brought it to my attention, I thought, I love tacos. How can you
As
say
do
this?
I.
But the more we've discussed it, it is just it
Right.
shouldn't be allowed.
And if there are people who have to, maybe grab something and go back to work or have a meeting, hey, like if you had a meeting with some clients and somebody brought in, I don't know, you could take something into your office and be on a phone meeting or on a Zoom meeting or in a small meeting room with 5 other people. Oh, we're all trying to eat tacos and have a meeting.
Well, and heaven forbid they brought hard taco shells. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, that's
just-
what I was thinking.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
terrible.
hard taco shells.
Get out
The
of
hard
here.
taco
You
shells.
can't do that. And then Max Bezozu says, or there's a traffic jam at the taco station. Yeah. Who wants to hold up
that's
the line?
thing, because it takes a while to make the taco.
Get
so
tacos
somebody's
out of
grabbed, the other easy things that are easy to get. Okay, so there's my number one.
Very valid number one.
Number two is a food I really like in general, certain types of it for sure, but it's a food that some people don't like, including our CEO, Dustin Nielsen. And it's a food that, even though I like it, I probably wouldn't eat this if it was brought to an office Christmas party, because I would think to myself, who prepared this?
Yeah.
What? And this is not an allergy concern for me, but who prepared it? What's in it? How long has it been sitting out? And that's sushi.
It's not responsible.
Right.
It's not socially responsible. You cannot put that in front of people. Who knows how long it's been sitting out? I mean, there's things in there that, if turned,
yeah, even if it's not raw, but especially if it might contain a raw component,
it's just too much for a Christmas party.
And in any group of people, whether you have an office of 5 or 500, there will be people who do not want sushi, and then therefore they might be turned off by the dishes surrounding the sushi just because they don't like the sushi.
And even if you take, prepared sushi off of a grocery, counter,
yeah,
you still can have some that are a day older than others, and it's terrible. It's really hit and miss unless you're making your own, but still, it's a tough one. I agree with you on that. I'm gonna start my list.
Okay.
Off, okay. I only had a couple, but Reid, you would understand this because you also we both share something, and that is a nut allergy.
Yes.
So the pot of gold box of chocolates is always just a mystery to me.
Right.
Because even though they have the labels as to what is it, one could be a strawberry flavored filling. And you pop that thing in your mouth, next thing you know, it's EpiPen City. You just don't know what you're getting with these chocolates. And especially the pot of gold, they just kind of show you the picture of what they are.
Yeah.
Whereas high-end chocolatiers will actually have a description of what's in it. The pot of gold, purple box of chocolates has got to stop at Christmas parties.
I would say that even if you don't have an allergy concern, that could be a difficult one or be unappealing. Because let's face it, everybody has their favorite one. Probably everybody likes the safe chocolate and caramel one.
Sure.
So
Salted caramel.
those two pieces get
They're
taken
gone.
first, and then everybody. And speaking of building up a line and having people touch, somebody's going to take a chocolate,
Yes.
have it halfway to their mouth, and be like, "Oh, no one's looking. I'll just put it back."
That thing's got fingerprints on it.
And
galore.
you might take one and think, "Oh yeah, I like this kind," and it is the cherry filled one. That's actually gross. And then they've eaten half the chocolate, and then it's thrown out.
Yeah, just don't bring them.
So just don't bring.
Choose something else.
Yeah, bring chocolate bark.
A lot of people are
Jack
chiming
says
in.
bring the after eights.
Yes, after eights are a perfect office party chocolate.
And they're wrapped.
They're wrapped.
Everybody
They're
knows
individual,
exactly what they taste like.
and you know what you're getting. Yes.
And you get a quick blast of the chocolate mint.
Yep.
Palate cleanser.
Man, it's been a while.
You could have that in between
Sure.
dishes
Palate
or at the
cleanser.
end. Yeah.
But you won't. Yeah. A lot of people are saying head cheese or stednets. I think you got to be off your rocker if you're going to bring in stednets into a Christmas party. That is, for those that don't know, I think it's brine pork put into a gelatinous form and eaten with vinegar.
Like head cheese.
It's like with white vinegar. I mean, unless you...
Yeah, that's like one of those dishes where some guy has his uncle owns a deli. And it's like, hey, my uncle makes the best. And everybody's like, that doesn't sound very good.
Just leave it at home.
He's not serious about bringing that, is he?
Just leave it at home.
Just eat it with your family if everybody in your family likes it.
Yeah, or
we're
you
not
eat
your
it.
family. We want fun, tasty Christmas party stuff.
Have you ever heard of lutefisk?
Weren't we talking about that on the show a couple weeks ago? Or
Lutefisk
off
should
air,
not
maybe?
be brought to Christmas parties. Lutefisk is a Scandinavian delight. It's a dish of dried cod or whitefish, cured in lye, yes, lye, rehydrated, resulting in a gelatinous texture. Oh, this is something my wife's side has done. They used to have to eat this every Christmas. Their poor souls.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law recreated it for good old memory's sake. Oh, this is bad.
Your stomach is churning, Jay.
It's actually disgusting. It looked the color of this screen is yellow.
Yellow. They see the bright yellow.
Golly.
The top three for food sausage today, the worst foods to bring to a Christmas party. We're each doing our own. I asked my mom and dad for some suggestions. Liver and onions. What are you bringing? Liver and onions? Yeah, those would not be good. Somebody said, oh, I lost it now. Oh, I like Jack's description of the after eight. No surprises, and it feels like you're standing on a mountain with a cool breeze flowing through your hair. Boy, after eight should get Jack to write the commercials for them. All right, and my final one, well, we may have more. I'm sure. Do you have any coming in on the text you want to get to first?
Lots.
Okay. Do you want to do any now or after?
We can do them after.
Okay. My third one, and again, this is a food people would like, and I think in certain situations it's fine. But I always think about, I guess more for this, I'm not so much thinking about gross tasting foods. I'm more thinking about the awkwardness of the delivery and the consumption.
Because everybody loves tacos.
Tacos, good. A lot of people like sushi. I like sushi, but I don't know if I would eat it at an office Christmas party. Number 3 is corn on the cob. Because again, I'm thinking, okay, often at an office Christmas party, you might be standing while you're eating. It might be mingling, it might be standing. Maybe you're eating, but you got to carry your food. Maybe it's a company you don't see people a lot. You might be shaking hands with people, right? You might be getting up, moving around. So I just thought corn on a cob.
Oh, just think of the butter station.
The butter station, and then
the salt station.
And eating with your hands. You got no choice, baby. Unless you want one of these people that tries to prop it up and balance it on its side and scrape the corn off. That never goes well either.
There's a tool for that.
Is there?
There's a corn scraping tool for a corn cob.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we used it when our kids were little. But
So
now
unless
they
you're
eat it.
supplying everybody with those.
Yeah, that's just a recipe for disaster.
And also the potential for a mess in terms of grease on your face. So you're
Corn
sitting there,
on the
corn on
ground.
the cob, and your CEO that you see once a year at the Christmas party comes up to you like, oh, hey, Jenkins, how are things in your department? Just hang on. I'll shake your hand. Oh, I got butter. Oh, what's on my face? Yeah.
Well, and the back squirt you get from biting into a properly cooked, you get a lot of shrapnel that maybe, spread on your dress shirt.
Jimbo says Reid not using cob holders, and that hurts me. Fair enough, but then who's bringing all the? Where are the cob holders? Oh, are they out of cob holders? I want corn on the cob. They're out of cob holders. I already put it on my plate.
You're gonna make me use a toothpick,
I guess I
man?
gotta eat it.
What's up, bro?
Yeah. It's just
W2F,
It's just
bro.
too many potential. There's too much potential for awkwardness.
Dustin with a Y. Saw you on the hangout this
Yeah,
morning.
he was
Great
here
job, Dustin with a Y. That was fantastic. He said ribs would be difficult too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ribs, that's just a no-go zone. I mean, we just need quick finger food, something almost you can eat with a toothpick or a chip.
Like we had finger food here.
Yeah.
But there are different.
But even Maddie's parents have brought in the pierogies and the cabbage rolls. I mean, each of those are individual. You could eat those with a toothpick if you wanted
to, yes.
Right? And the condiments were not.
No, a couple things.
Keep it under control.
Right.
Eric brought in his smoked oysters. That was one small plate.
Right.
Did not take up a lot of space, real estate.
Well, the thing is with the cabbage rolls and the pita hay, even though they're filled, the filling doesn't gush out. Like if you bite into, like I said, if you have a hard taco,
it's not like
even
a
if you
pizza
carefully
pocket
bite it,
or
stuff
something.
might be coming out the other end or going somewhere. Corn on the cob, there's that potential for, what's spraying everywhere? What colleague am I getting this on? Is the butter dripping down my chin? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there is a lot coming in, and we are, like we've said before, we are very much so in striking distance. We are 12 away from a new show record.
Yeah, hit it.
So what day? We'll come up with a word. We'll try to find a word in the break that we will only announce once we hit a record, and it'll be in celebration of that record. Fair, Reid?
What word?
To be determined. TBD, brah.
TBD, brah.
DR Rock or D-Rock smoked oysters are the best. Yeah, they're all right. I don't mind them. Did you try one?
I don't think I had one. There were a couple things I never got to at the party because we had a lot of food.
Smoked oysters, you got to be in the right mood for it, at least for me. And that could be the same as like pickled herring. My mother-in-law just brought home a jar of pickled herring. You got to be in the Christmas mood for some pickled herring.
Right.
Grew up with it around the, Yuki Christmas. Les Sweet says, agree. Corn on the cob is an outdoor food. Ro Nelson, any canned meat is bad, but canned heat is good. I don't know what canned heat is.
I don't know. Is that like a salsa or something? It's probably something really obvious that we're missing.
Spam comes in from Jack. Jimbo says, bring a bag of Takis and be a hero.
Tacos.
Takis.
Oh, Takis?
Takis?
What's a Taki?
It's like a rolled up Dorito. You've seen them in a grocery store.
Oh, like a taquito or whatever they're called.
Yeah, but it's in a chip form
But it's
now.
in chip. Okay.
But yes, it's similar to a taquito, except it's about yay.
So that'd be
big.
better than a taco. Smaller, almost bite size.
What if you
Same
dip that
effect.
in cheese, liquid cheese?
Right. Then
There you go.
Then you're fine.
Now you're good.
Not as messy. Okay. My top 3 and Jay's worst foods to bring to a Christmas party presented by Food Sausage, which, by the way, Food would be a great thing to bring to a Christmas party.
Oh, yeah. Cut
or
that.
just eat on your own.
I'm going to bring in some
Yeah, we
food.
got to have some more. We haven't had it for a while.
Yeah.
All right, 780-218-9999. Again, we're handing it over to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6. We have Zachary Kubusch updating your sports.
The Oilers are in action tonight when they take on the Lightning, where you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, right here on EST. And right now it's a Flyers up 2-0 over the Blue Jackets. The Hurricanes leading the Sharks 1-0. The Penguins trailing the Avs by 1, while the Maple Leafs and Devils are tied at 0s, with all those games nearing the end of the first. And the Jays have traded for Andreas Jimenez and Nick Sandlin from the Guardians in exchange for Spencer Horwitz. Elsewhere, the Yankees and Max Fried have agreed to an 8-year deal worth $218 million, with both sides waiting for the results of a physical for the signing to be confirmed. The NBA sees the Magic up 33-25 at the end of the second against the Bucks before the Thunder play the Mavericks. This sports update has been brought to you by Wheeler's RV and Boat Storage, conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert. Wheeler's RV is your safe and secure place to store your RV, boat, or whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get one free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show before the GCL Diesel pregame show at the bottom of the hour. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Okay, hope you had a good day. Hope you're ready for the Oilers game tonight, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I got a buddy who's a big Lightning fan, oddly enough. I can't remember why he cheers for them.
Wow, people really want to hear this word.
You've picked one.
I found one.
But we have to get to 140 thumbs.
Uncle Jesse says, I'm going to pick a bucket of chicken because everyone is digging around for a piece they like, and it's greasy and not great cold. I mean, that is the definition of what we were looking for.
That's a good point, yeah.
Right? That really summarizes it well, and you've explained yourself. Mucho gracias.
Yeah, so if that's for our top 3 foods you would not want to bring to a Christmas party or not want to see brought. Portions of this hour are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NFL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Andrea in Calgary says that plus, don't forget the corn would not be in season, so it likely won't taste the best.
Oh, good
Great
point.
point.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Rip City Step, my sister-in-law takes a small bite out of the chocolates in the box and then puts them back. This behavior has been condoned since she was a child by her family, and it's wild to see every Christmas.
Well, wait a minute. She still does this as an adult?
Apparently.
That is somewhat frightening.
It is.
So she takes a little bite out of the chocolate and puts it back in the box. A pot of gold or wasn't Black Magic another box of chocolates that you could have?
Yeah, that probably got canceled.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What else is there besides... Well, there's the companies. I guess you could get a Purdy's or a JCIC.
JCIC.
Local chocolate.
but they do a good job explaining it. Chief Andy says auspicious would be a good word to sum up today's show.
We need one more thumb, and then we're going to learn a new word.
would be.
We're at 139, ready to get to 140.
Auspicious.
Are the Tampa Bay Lightning a dynasty, by the way? Zach put that in the poll on the Nasty Chat, which we weren't arguing that it was, but we were more talking about teams that might be a dynasty. But 33% said yes. 67% said no.
Interesting.
I would not consider them a dynasty. I was surprised it was that high. Okay. Well, it just shows you never know what people will think.
Well, that's where is it giving credit to getting back to the dance? Maybe
Probably
different for
yeah,
hockey,
they're always
right?
good. They're always a threat. All right, we're at 140 thumbs on YouTube. That is a new record for this show. Now, I should say the show last week got, I think, to 147, but in terms of live, during the show being on live, 139.
And climbing.
Right. So, but you said you would pick a word of the day if we got to 140. So what is it? I wonder if I will know it. I might not.
The word of the day to celebrate our 140 is roister.
Okay.
To be roisterous.
Okay, wait. I want to figure out what it is. Is it R-O-Y-S-T-E-R?
R-O-I-S-T-E-R.
R-O-I. So I didn't even know how to spell it. I think the Atlanta Braves used to have a middle infielder named Jerry Royster in the early 80s. Totally unrelated. And
Now, it has to do with celebrating.
R-O-I-S-T-E-R. Royster. So it's a celebratory type of word. It doesn't mean to celebrate. Is it to celebrate?
It's a specific way to celebrate.
It's a specific way to celebrate. Is it a noisy form of celebration?
Noisy or boisterous way. The exact definition is enjoy oneself or celebrate in a noisy or boisterous way. Roister.
Roister. So, and it sounds like boisterous.
Good way to remember what it means.
So it's basically, say the meaning again.
Enjoy oneself or celebrate in a noisy or boisterous way.
Okay.
So it could be, having a little swagger. Maybe after a win, celebrating a little aggressively.
Right.
Roisterous. Roister.
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 R-O-I-S-T-E-R.
R-O-I-S-T-E-R.
As opposed to rooster, which is something that Dolores the hen might know a little bit about.
She's going to have a hard time on the Henway tonight. It is still snowing.
All right.
For example, you might be described as a victory celebration as roisterous if it was wild and woolly, but without violence.
Wild and woolly.
Woolly.
I love that phrase. Okay, so we learned a new word. We got a new high for live thumbs up from 3 to 6 p.m., which is pretty cool.
What a day.
What a day. It's up
We're
to
at
147 now. Okay,
Jeez.
that's amazing. People really like that word. That's cool. And we got the Oilers and the Lightning coming up. All right, just put a capper on the game coming up tonight. What do you want to see from the Oilers in this one? Early. I always focus on what do you want to see early in the game.
Tempo, and controlling the pace of play. Defensively, offensively, just controlling that tempo and up-tempo because they can do it.
Which I thought they had against the Blues for the first two periods.
Sure.
The Blues obviously had some things going on, but I thought the Oilers were clearly the better team through 40 minutes against St. Louis. The Blues turned it on in the third. The Oilers didn't do a great job handling it, but hey, they had the 3-0 lead and they preserved the win. Yeah, I think that's fair. I always look for lines 1 through 4 getting involved on the forecheck. The Oilers are doing better. I still think they're a top-heavy team, which I suppose if you have Draisaitl, McDavid, you always will be to some extent, but probably more than they have been the last couple of years. So I'd like to see lines 3 and 4 get around the net a little bit. Now, to be fair, Corey Perry scored last game, and Connor Brown did put the puck in the net, though it didn't count. But just have that consistency of energy and gumption on the forecheck, lines 1 through 4. Because, it's frustrating when Leon and Connor go out there and then the other two lines are hemmed in, and then it takes one of the big guys half a shift to get it going back in the right direction. Now, it's going to be hard against the Lightning because they can push it. I mentioned Hagel. He's kind of an emerging player. They don't have Cirelli tonight, but they still have a pretty dangerous lineup. As long as you have Hedman on D eating up minutes, that's going to be hard to take on. But the thing is with the Hedmans of the world, they're very good, but it's not as if Connor and Leon can't beat them. I mean, that's their job, is to still score when the other top defensemen are on the ice. And the Oilers were able to do a lot of good things with Broberg and Parayko on the ice the other night. Now, Hedman is better than those two guys. Don't get me wrong. But I just think this is a good test for the Oilers. I think
yes.
I think there are elements of the forwards that you could say it's a little bit of a mirror image type thing. The Oilers don't have a Hedman. Clearly, Vasilevsky is a more accomplished goaltender than Skinner. On defense, Hedman, Radish, McDonough, Moser, Lilleberg, and Perbix. I mean, maybe a third pairing that's a little more vulnerable than some things Tampa Bay has had in the past. So maybe some home ice matchups might help the Oilers there. But I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this is going to be a hotly contested game. I think this might be one of those games that, how I was talking earlier, as much as you would like to say teams get up for each and every game the same way, it doesn't happen. I think this is a game the two teams are going to be really up for each other.
Well, it'd be nice to see, because at one point against St. Louis, it was 3-2. They came back in the third period, scored 2 goals, then tight game right away.
Yes.
And, there's parts of you that would say, okay, which Oilers team is this? Is this a team that's going to tank and this game's going to go to overtime? But they found the way to get that job done and make it 4-2 and win.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice to see if this was a tighter game that they could, take it over the finish line, because that's what they were doing when they were successful in the later parts of the season last year, leading up to the playoffs. That team, if they had a 2-goal lead, it was pretty secure.
Usually put it away, and this year on home ice. Well, and I guess the game in Toronto. I'm trying to think I don't know if there's any other road game like that, but at home ice especially, they have not had great third periods. And I know a couple of those games they still won in overtime. But, yeah, there have been games that you hoped would have been put to bed that were not. I'm just trying to find – I have too many tabs open on my computer, but I want to get the game notes here. And I want to see the Oilers in the third period. Now, this is home and away, have been outscored 33-27. The Oilers have actually been outscored in the first period. Not a lot, 22-18. In the second period, the Oilers are plus 10, 32-22. In the third period, the Oilers are minus 6, 33-27. And in overtime, obviously, the Oilers are better, 5-2. So, yeah, hasn't been always clean in the third period, especially at home. Variety of mistakes along the way. We talked after that Vegas game. The Nuge penalty was one thing.
Yes.
The Bouchard turnover in Toronto. I know that was a road game. But if they do have the lead in the third period against this very good Tampa team, can they shut it down? Can they keep it low event?
Think of their last loss was the 1-0 loss to Vegas. This team is playing well.
They've played 6. I would say they've played 6 good games in a row.
But forgive me for saying this, but a 4-3 win, or let's say a 2-1 loss, where they're playing a highly contested game, goaltender stands on this, I don't know. Is that such, if this team is still playing at that level consistently, right? Obviously, you'd like to see the win, but this team has been playing quite.
No, I'd say they've been
quite a high
quite
level.
good. I mean, I think the first period in Utah was not very good. I suppose you could say a large chunk of the third period against St. But I mean, again, I always say you have to give the other team credit too. I mean, St. Louis came out down 3-0 and said, "Okay, we're going to go for it," and they did. But when you're down 3-0. You need things to go almost perfectly. But no, I like a lot of things the Oilers are doing lately. Let's see if they can do it again tonight.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, this was a educational show.
I hope Stu Skinner's roisterous tonight after the game.
I hope they are as well. 151 thumbs will be the new record. Tuesdays are good for us for live thumbs during a show. We're going to hand the stream over to Hernan, who's here, and to Tom as well. I'll see Tom at the rink tonight. They have the Oil Stream pregame show leading into the Oilers and the Lightning coming up at 7 o'clock. Big thanks to Zachary Kubusch, our technical producer and our sports update deliverer. On behalf of the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Thanks for checking out the show.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.